And it's on. All right, and I made sure. So I finally figured out something that probably everybody in the from the fourth grade up knows. I can have two apps open on the same page, two programs running side by side. I didn't know I could do that. So now I've got our one app that records the audio version of the show up, and I've got the YouTube, my OBS up on the other side, so I can monitor both of them so I'm not flipping between. It's going to make my life so much easier, and I could have done that from the frickin' get go.
Really?
Yeah, this is what happens. You get what you pay for. That's all I'm saying.
You know, the first thing I did when I logged into the Twitter or the X, the first thing on there was a picture of Dave Batista and how much smaller he's gotten.
Oh, dude, he looks sick.
Okay, but the thing is when I clicked on it and started reading it, there's an actual video. Basically, what he's done instead of muscle maintenance, he's body maintaining. So he's actually trying to live longer instead of trying to be big. So he dropped all that muscle weight.
That sounds gay. No,
Well,
I'm just kidding.
I mean, it might be, but he's trying to live longer because I mean, it is harder on your body when
Oh,
you're
sure.
that big, and how you have to try to maintain that. Because basically it says he switched from heavy lifting to mobility work.
I
He's doing some plant-based things, more cardio instead of muscle maintenance, and a lot of yoga. So he's basically just staying in shape instead of staying huge.
I think the
I
reason
bet
I
he still
thought
looks good without a shirt.
well, I'll
I bet he
take.
still
So
has
my
a big
prob
shit house.
well my problem was when I saw him he looked like a drag queen because he had
Well,
I don't know he looked bad.
who
He looked
yes,
bad.
whoever gave him the pearl necklace,
Yeah.
and you take that however you want to take that pearl necklace.
You know exactly how I'm going to take it, so go ahead.
You're gonna take it with a smile.
Walked right into it. Walked right into it. Good job,
You're gonna
sir.
throw softballs up there. I'm not hitting them bitches.
Yes, sir.
but yeah. If I hadn't clicked on it, I wouldn't have known that's why he was just he got the roles, and he's because there's another picture of him in a hat and just a regular shirt, and he's still pretty big. I mean, he went from 370 to 240, so he's still a big dude.
Yeah, yeah. He's like 6'5" or something, 6'3". He's pretty tall too. So I mean,
Yeah,
he's not a small cat.
370 to 240. So yeah, he's a big dude.
What was funny is they asked him sometime years ago. They were like, do you like basically are you walking on the Rock's shoulders? And he said no because I want to be a good actor. I was like, dude, that's an awesome reply. He just said no because I something like that. I'm paraphrasing somehow.
And I can't say I've watched a bunch of his movies, and I can't say that I've watched any that I disliked. I mean,
He was
some of
good.
his movies,
He was good
some
in
of his
all of them.
movies, some of his movies are kind of rockish. They're just action,
Yeah.
and but I mean, he plays the dumb dude in Guardians of the Galaxy. Great,
Oh yeah, man. He's a good actor. Like
he's
everything I've
basically
seen.
Hulk smash.
Yeah, but everything I've seen him in has
Oh
been
yeah,
great. Like he's like you said, I haven't seen it. Like he was in that movie Blades Out or Knives Out.
yeah, right.
He was great in
Still
that.
haven't seen,
That
still haven't seen that.
it's okay. It's okay. It was the Onion one. The other one, my son watched and said it's much better. And I think that's the one with Jamie Lee Curtis. Um,
Yes. I think where she's
it's got our
running
girl
a
in it.
hospital. Is that the one you're talking about?
No,
There's
it's
another one.
so Max von Sydow dies. The maid is played by the girl that's going to be in the new Ana de Armas plays his
Right.
maid, and so the family's trying to divide it up. Don Johnson is in it. I believe it's Jamie Lee Curtis, and they're all fighting for the leftovers, the will. It's pretty good. I watched maybe 15 minutes of it, and I just wasn't feeling it. You know how sometimes you're just not feeling it. But yeah, it's. But I'm with you. I don't think I've seen anything that I'm just. I mean, he did that zombie movie. I haven't seen that one. I heard it wasn't great, where they go into Las Vegas or something. They got to go raid a vault. I forget, Army of the Dead
It
or
wasn't
something.
bad. It wasn't bad. Like I said, I've seen most of the movies that I've seen of his. I mean, But that's what it was. It had his daughter in it. He had a daughter in the movie, and they were trying to. I can't remember who they were trying to save. But yeah, it was a good movie. It was what you were expecting from Batista. Just an action-packed movie.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm not a. I'm not a wrestler fan, so like most of these guys, I don't know anything about it. Yeah, I'd leave it to you to tell me.
Just watched him in wrestling. I mean, I'm not. I don't. I don't.
IMDb. I'm pulling him up real quick because I'm curious. Dude, every time, Patrick Swayze is my screensaver on IMDb, and I cleared my cache, by the way. It's just like you get Patrick Swayze. How about that Bill Murray bit I sent you?
Oh,
that
was great.
So
yeah, if y'all haven't watched, I can't remember. Let me pull it up. What?
Oh my God, it was hilarious. So Bill Murray, his best friend, was married to Kelly, who was part of
Kelly Lynch from
Kelly Lynch from Roadhouse.
Yes.
And every time that movie came on, he would call his director friend day or night and be like, "Hey, look, I'm sure Patrick is good at some things, but you should turn on to see what your wife's doing right now on TBS."
Oh, you know what he was on that's the Kelsey podcast, the two brothers.
Okay.
That's who that was. Those are Travis Kelsey and his brother. That's who that is.
I don't know who those people are.
The football players. The one plays for the Chiefs that's dating. I know you know your favorite Taylor Swift. Your favorite. He's dating Taylor Swift. Travis Kelsey is.
Oh, okay. Okay, I don't know.
Just ask your girlfriend.
So let's see.
She'll tell you.
Yeah, we're not going to do that.
Okay.
So he was great in Dune, Dave Bautista.
Dune. Oh, yeah. Nobody did bad in Dune. Nobody. There wasn't a bad action.
He was well cast in that. Guardians of the Galaxy, Army of Thieves. No, Army of the Dead. That's the one I haven't seen Army of Thieves. He's uncredited. He did a movie that I recommend. Is it Stuber? No. It's not a typical Dave Bautista movie. No, that's not it. Stuber.
The one where he's trying to get that person through to through the zombies. That's the one you're talking about.
No, the one that I saw is This Is It, Bushwick. When a U.S. military based military force invades their Brooklyn neighborhood, 20-year-old Lucy and war veteran Stoop must depend on each other to survive. It was a very dark movie. I enjoyed it for what it was. It's not great. It's not something I would say, but
it's not something I would watch again. But his acting in it, because he was like crazy, wasn't he? Or
he was
like
just
losing it.
Yeah, he was like trying to
PTSD.
Right, that's what it was, PTSD. And so now he's forced to step up and save this young lady. I thought he was good. That's when I went, oh, he's not The Rock, because The Rock can only do the eyebrow raise and flexing his muscles. He's pretty one-dimensional. Not saying I don't like him. There's a place for those people. I mean, hell, right. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Stallone made millions off of one-liners. So I'm just looking here. I haven't really seen anything of his other than that.
I haven't seen Bushwick.
He was in Riddick. I haven't seen that one. I need to watch that. I went back and watched Pitch Black, by the way. Vin Diesel was great. That first one is like survival horror. It is great. I highly recommend watching Pitch Black. It's not something I would have ever picked to watch.
Yes.
But once I did.
The sequels were not bad, but they were just
weird.
They were different. They were not. I mean, they followed the premise of him being a murderer and everything like that. So it was. I actually enjoyed all of those movies, but yeah.
I saw the second one that had whatever his name is, the guy that was in Lord of the Rings. He was in I don't know. Anyway, Australian or New Zealand guy. That second one where they're going after the necromorphs or whatever. I watched that one and I was just kind of like, yeah, I think I'm going to cash out here. This is a good stopping point. I don't think I need to watch any more of them.
Thought there was 2.
There's like 4 Pitch Black movies because there's an animated one. Let's see. Riddick. Furia, Chronicles of Riddick, Riddick Blindsided.
Well, there's only 3 that he's in, and one of them is
Carl
there's
Urban
Pitch
is
Black.
who I
Yes,
was trying to think.
Carl Urban is in which one? The second one?
Yes, yeah, which is the Chronicles of Riddick. At least that's the one I thought. So I started watching this one. He's left on a planet, and then bounty hunters come to collect him. I was watching this one, and I fell asleep. I just like they were trying.
Chronicles of Riddick. Yes,
No, just Riddick, where he becomes the Necromorph King or whatever, and then they basically drop him on this planet, and he's got to survive against all these animals and stuff without any tools. And then
that's right. I didn't like that one like I did the second one.
No, it was like they were trying to recapture Pitch Black with that whole, and he befriends the dog.
Yeah, yes, you're right. I remember that one now. It was not as memorable.
No, it was. That one was okay. I didn't remember Carl Urban being in it. He might have been in the beginning.
He was in the Chronicles of Riddick. No,
Well, it says he's in this one too. He's in Riddick in 2013.
Oh, it must have a space deal or something like that. I don't remember because, like I said, that one's not as in my head like Chronicles of Riddick because he went back in the prison. So you should watch Chronicles of Riddick and see if because he actually touches with the girl.
Yeah, I remember that.
Black.
Yeah, she goes into the prison. I remember that's the one I watched. Prison. This one I just started to watch the other day, and I got most of the way through it, and then I just went, I don't care, and I fell asleep. All right, let's start the show on the audio part. We've talked enough.
Which is really funny when you talk about Vin Diesel, how he's just the voice of Groot, and there's no telling what he got paid to just say, I am Groot.
Because we had this talk, I don't know, in private, whereas like that's what made him, and then you go, well, the Fast and Furious movies, I completely forgot about. I've never seen one.
You've never seen them? If I was going to suggest watching one, I would only suggest watching the first one.
I watched Tokyo Drift with the guy with the Texas accent. It was okay.
Yes,
it was all right.
It was okay. I mean, I like the Tokyo Drift. I like the drifting, but that. Yeah, that
well, my daddy, he's over there, and he sent me to this, and I'm just all shucks. Yeah, I'm good. All right, I'm going to start the audio part.
Now recording.
Welcome.
Your love for Texas is so great.
It's almost as much as I love Canadians and British.
My God.
Welcome to episode 71 of the Odd Times podcast. I had to stop and think for a second. I am your illustrious, sexy host with the voice of an angel, Mac, joined by Kaz. How are you?
He just wants me to say something. How are y'all tonight? Illustrious host.
So
he tells me what to do, and I do it, folks. That's all there is to it.
That's a
I'm
damn
just the
lie.
one on the end of the strings. I'm the one on the end of the string.
So, how have you been this week?
I'm actually glad this week is over.
Dude, me too. It was a rough week. We got surprise snowstorm that wasn't on any news station or app, and I got caught out in it at work. I was a very unhappy individual. That was not nice. That was not nice. And if I would have seen the person responsible, I would probably be in jail right now. So yeah, it was a stressful week. The only good side about it is it's Friday and we're doing this now, so we can forget about that crap.
Yes. Yes.
I was going to say something else, but I've forgotten. That comes with being a moron. So what have you been up to? Anything interesting, noteworthy?
No, nothing noteworthy.
Didn't climb any mountains?
No, didn't climb any mountains. Made it through the week, didn't kill anybody, which is a good thing because then I probably wouldn't be here to talk about it. I mean, the story before I got caught would be good, I guess.
But you wouldn't tell it on YouTube because you'd get popped.
Oh, why not? Why not?
Yeah.
It's like it's like they say about being a drug dealer. You can be a drug dealer all you want, and they can say you're a drug dealer, but until they catch you, it's just, are you really a drug dealer?
Yeah. Yeah, this week was, man, it was an exhausting experience. I had all kinds of crap at work. Just, normal stuff. It just seemed to like hit all at once, like breakdowns and all kinds of crap. So I was like super happy this week was over, but it ended on a great note. I went and spent the afternoon with our friend Duke, and really, really fun, really enjoyable. Got to go. We went out, and I told you I had Five Guys for the first time. Burgers, Five Guy burgers. I know I'm talking to Five Guy burgers. It was good. It was good. Then I got caught in traffic. Had my son with me, and I was like, "This is what I get to enjoy every day." And he's like, "Yeah, I don't want to do what you do for sure." I was like, "Nope, you sure don't. Go to school." But today was a good day. I got to talk to my oldest daughter. We talked for over an hour today, which is unusual. She's going to college, so I'm excited about that. She's going to grow some brains finally. I watched a lot of anime this past week. Not whole seasons, but like mix and match. I want to talk about that later on. We had big news this week with Trump.
Yeah, lots of big news.
That son of a gun is he's changing the shape of the country, and we'll have to wait and see. The verdict will be out, but some of the stuff he's doing, I wholeheartedly agree with. I don't care to say it. I'll say it. They're predicting Captain America 4 is going to flop. We'll talk about that a little bit. You've decided since they lowered the standards on what they tolerate with airlines, you're going to join to be a pilot. And
I figure.
and then we're going to talk about the snowstorm that has engulfed the southern states. Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
It's Armageddon. So, where do you want to start off this week?
What did you think of the anime?
Okay, so I'm going to pull those up real quick because I sent you a video of one. It's not great.
I like the trailer. I like that trailer, though.
So it's right here. It's called Cabaneri. They say it differently. I'm not good with it. It's only one season on Crunchyroll. It's dark. Like, it starts off, it does not hold your hand. Now, my son said he's like 5 episodes in. It's kind of but we kind of have different tastes. His tastes are extremely shitty, so I don't really listen to him. No, I'm kidding. So if you're going to watch it, it's got English. You can watch it with English. The premise is on this island that these people live on, some sort of an infection has taken place. It's basically zombies, but they've got crystal hearts. And this kid here that's on the screen, he's like an engineer trying to do his part. All of humanity has stayed in the train station, so everything they do, they travel.
That's the one you were telling me about. I didn't get any of that from the trailer.
No, I just wanted to show you a cool scene, and everything else was in Japanese, and I knew you were driving, so I was like, I got to find something in English. So I just sent it to you to kind of give you a heads up. Like, it's this what now, they do say there are some similarities between Attack on Titan. I guess you can kind of see it because it did kind of give me that vibe, but it's survival. They get around on armored trains. It's really very Japanese. Like, the women are walking around in traditional Japanese clothing. The men, the high status men, walk around in their Japanese robes. It's dark.
And no offense to anybody listening, but if you can rock a kimono, oh, you're bad.
Oh yeah.
If you can rock a kimono, you're bad. I'm not gonna lie to you. You're bad.
That's what the modern day OnlyFans ladies don't understand. So it's got a 7.2 on IMDb. There's only one season. I think it's 12 episodes or 13. It's not very long, but I've gotten 2 episodes in. It's good so far. So I was watching that. I also started watching Overlord. I don't know. I don't know what I think about that one yet. I just watched 1 episode. The guy is in a video game. It's like one of those, I guess, virtual reality. It's like 2100 is the year. and they're shutting down his game. So he wants to be there with his avatar. When the clock strikes midnight, they shut the servers down. The clock shuts down, and all of a sudden, all the NPCs are talking to him. He can touch them, and like he realizes he's still like really powerful because he was like max level in the game. So I haven't gotten that far into that one. What other one was I? Nat, I'm getting peer pressure, a lot of peer pressure to watch Naruto. I haven't bitten the bullet. I'm still watching One Piece, for crying out loud.
Oh yeah, but One Piece is still going. You know that you can pick back up on One Piece. Naruto is done.
I'm kind of done with it though, dude. I'm like.
I'm not gonna watch One Piece. It's what,
6.
like 1,100 episodes.
Yeah,
1,200?
it's ridiculous. I'm just kind of like at a certain point. I mean, I love some of the characters, but I'm just kind of, I don't know. I gotta look up. I gotta pull up my Crunchyroll.
But what did you think? But what did you think of Solo Leveling?
Oh, that's the one. I was trying to think of the one. Yes, Solo Leveling is badass.
Solo Leveling.
It's good, and it's being simulcast on Crunchyroll, so it's season 2.
Yeah, it's so dark. I mean, it's just when you're basically enveloped in a video game, kind of, sort of.
In real life, it's basically a video game logic entered into the real world.
Into the real world to basically, they are born demon hunters.
They're born. Some people, right? Some people are born.
They have an awakening. If they're born, they have an awakening, and that's.
And some people get it, some people don't. And then the people that do awaken, they get grades, how good they are, and what kind of magical items they can use. The main character is basically the lowest of the low.
Lowest ever died. Basically, he died.
Well,
they don't show him dying, but all of a sudden
they show everything up to it. Jeez, man.
But I mean, you have to think. Now think about that. We've never talked about that. Think about it though. He probably did die, but the game part of it saved him.
Yeah, that god or whatever that they were at, where they had to worship God and do all this stuff.
But it gave him like video game, like pop-up screens.
Yeah, and only he can see it.
And yes, and like you said in that one episode where he's trapped in the dungeon, and it pops up and says, "There's 8 people in this dungeon now." Yeah, it's basically like what's the Saw movies. It's either you or him. It popped up and said 6 people have to die or you die.
Well, so basically the way it goes is these portals open up in the world, and the hunters, as they're called, the people with these special abilities, they get together in groups and go and try to beat the boss in this thing, and then it'll close. But within that, there are things that humans have come to covet. Crystals and different things that they use for powering their cities and clean energy and magical artifacts. So there's like an end game to this. Like there's a reason. But he's a D level hunter, so he's basically useless. That's right.
The worst.
Yeah, he's the worst. But so he tags along, and people are like, okay, well, when you first meet him, he's with this pretty cool group. It's supposed to be an easy dungeon, but there's a dungeon within a dungeon. He gets just destroyed. The party gets, well, no, because the healer girl, the old man that lost his arm.
There was 16 of them.
I think
only 6 of them made. There
right.
2 teams of 8.
So what they do though is they get these groups together through an app or job postings. So he gets killed in there, and he wakes up in the hospital, and he's like, oh, I'm going to be a higher level. I'm going to be S rank. And it's like, nah, bitch, you're still E. Sorry for your luck. So he's like, dang it. Then he gets this pop-up, and it says, complete your daily objectives. And he's like, I'm not doing 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, and run 10K. I'm just not going to do it. And then he gets a penalty. The whatever it is, the game pulls him out, and he's having to escape from these giant worms that are going to destroy him. He's like, holy crap. So he's like, I better do this. So he learns really quick that there's penalties for disobeying the pop-ups. So
what's funny is in that one episode where he was fixing to die and the penalty saved his life.
Yes.
Oh, it was so funny because he didn't do his daily objective.
And he gets like if you're playing a game, sometimes you do some weird thing and you get a bonus for it. You're like, if you get poisoned so many times, you develop a resistance to poison if you play games. What are you listening to? I was like, was that me or you? Sorry. So he's getting these. So he goes in with this group. He's trying to earn money. His mother is dying in a hospital. She's in a coma. So he's trying to pay his bills, his sister's bills, and his mother's bills. The only way he can do it as an E-rank hunter is to join groups and try to make scratch a living out. So he's figured out that like he's got this special ability now. And that's the god, by the way, it just showed. So he goes into this one with this group of people. It's what is it? 8 people? I think it's 8 people
Yeah,
because
it has to be 8 people. That's
so
why
it
I
was
said
six in this group, and him and another guy, a rich kid's, the rich dad sent his son, decked him out in this really expensive armor. So they go in there and they basically trap him in with a giant spider, and this guy just eviscerates the spider. It's pretty badass. And the guys, they come back and they're like, well, hell, you survived. Now he tells the rich kid, kill him and you can join us and we'll let you go and you give us your armor. Basically, they're thugs. And they're like, nobody's going to investigate it. So the mage, the young kid stands up for that character and him. And so they blast him with a magic blast. It knocks him into rocks. He's laying there like, this is how I'm going to die. This sucks. And then the screen pops up and it says 0 out of 6 killed. Kill them all or your heart stops. He stands up and it's both disturbing and really cool at the same time because he just rips them apart, dude. It is awesome. But it only has English up to episode 8, and then it's Japanese. So I haven't.
No.
It doesn't.
That episode 7.5 is, yeah, episode 7, and then 7.5 goes into Japanese, and then it goes back to English.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yes.
And this rating 8.3. That is a correct rating for that. It's really good. I think why people. It's funny because we have a friend of ours who's like, I don't watch that stuff. That's for kids. I'm like, you're an idiot because you don't know what's good. The reason these are good is because of the writing. It's not so much the action or the animation, which is good. It's the character development. Like this kid, when you first meet him, he knows he's a loser. Like he's bandaged up the first scene you see him. He's like all jacked up and everyone's like, you got to quit doing this. You just keep getting jacked up. And he's just all but useless, but he's smart. And he helps them to basically save 6 of them in that first dungeon. It's so well written, man. And it's from a Korean manga, I believe.
Yes.
It's so good. You turned me onto it, and usually I always go, I'll watch it, and then I never do, or it takes me 6 months. Based on Solo Leveling, also alternatively translated as Only I Level Up Korean, a South Korean web novel created by Chu Young and illustrated by Gi So-leung. It is serialized in Kakao's digital comic. So it's a comic, I guess. That's pretty cool, man.
I think they call it a manhwa, or not manga, but manhwa. That my son was trying to tell me because he doesn't read the manga. But I'm actually in season 2 now.
Well, good for you. I hope you're happy with yourself. But so if you're into it, give it a check. I've also started trying to rewatch. What is it? Hold on, I got to look it up here. The one I told you about, RE0, the one where his only special ability is he gets killed and he can respawn like earlier in the day or restart the day after, and he just gets
I remember that one. Yeah.
Butchered. And I'm like, you should check this out. You were like, dude, this is dark. I was like, yeah.
Why do you keep doing this? Because if I could save one person.
Yeah, and what's crazy is it was just an anime you and I kind of fell into. It wasn't like I knew it was coming out or anything. And I was watching, there's a YouTuber who does voice work, he lives in Japan, Connor Dog VA, I think is his YouTube. I don't know how he got recommended, but he does crane games. He'll give somebody like $500, he takes $500, and then they go play crane games through the whole video. I don't know why I watch this, but I love it. And so one of the most popular characters in every episode of that crane game crap is Rem from RE0, the little blue-haired maid. And I'm like, I guess I didn't get far enough into it, but like she is like idolized in Japan, which is crazy. And the fact of me being a white American male in Oklahoma, and I know who that is kind of, I don't know if that's creepy or kind of cool. It's probably a little both.
No, I mean, I, what I don't understand about it is how people don't get into anime because they think it's a cartoon. It's way beyond cartoon.
I
It's
mean,
way
and
the writing is you can literally put this on like a books with on tape,
mhm.
and it's so good,
so
so good.
so I rewatched because you were telling me uh, that season 2 should be coming out soon, which I need to look up.
It did. It's there's 3 episodes out.
Of
Season
Chainsaw
Oh,
Man.
Chainsaw Man. I'm
It's
not
it's
sure when
so
that comes out.
stupid. It's so stupid. If you just look at it, you're like the dude turns into a demon with chainsaw for a head and hands. It's dumb. I promise you, it it's actually really good and extremely dark. Like the subject matter in some of these animes is stuff that like no kids should not watch this at all.
No,
Like
they shouldn't. Some
this
of the things
the,
they shouldn't.
the kid, the head or the main character of Chainsaw Man, his dad was in owed the Yakuza. So the
Yes.
Yakuza told that kid, well, now you owe your dad's debts. And the kid's not very smart. He's a kid. So he's trying to pay the debt, but the Yakuza's never going to let him. So he befriends a little demon dog with a chainsaw. And he goes out and tries to kill demons for the Yakuza, and they basically barely pay him to keep him going. And he's sold like one of his testicles, one of his kidneys, one of his eyes. Like this kid is literally tearing himself apart to try to take care of his dad's debt. And dude, that anime was, and of course it's Japanese, so there's some things in there that if you're not used to it, it's going to be culturally disgusting
Yes.
to you.
Yes. Yes.
They do things that we don't do in the West, especially in regards to women. Some of the stuff that they have in there that it's a little perverted to my tastes. I think you're the same, but you got to get past that. It's really good. But I started watching.
Well,
Where did it go?
looks like
Tokyo Ghoul.
Oh yeah, I've heard that's good.
Ooh, boy, that one was rough to start out. So, like the ones we're talking about, they're at least I would say 16 and up. Like, don't let your kids watch it. They're really good, but they're really mature subject matter. American.
So since they're doing Tokyo Man, Chainsaw Man, the movie.
Oh,
So
what?
They're doing a movie. It's called the Res Arc. Doesn't have a release date yet. It's in post production.
So here it says, as of 2025 January, there's no confirmed release date for Chainsaw Man Season 2 in the U.S. However, a movie, Chainsaw Man, the movie
Res Arc.
Res Arc, is scheduled for release in 2025. I will go to the theater to see that. I'm not even kidding. I haven't been to the theater to
No,
see
you
us.
won't.
Yep.
You have to put pants on. No, you won't.
Hey, I took first baby steps. I did it today. Maybe I get Duke to go with me. I just hope he doesn't try to make the moves on me like he did last time.
Oh, I did go to the movies this past weekend, and I did see what was the movie?
Den
I'm drawing a blank. It was
Den
good. It
Den
was
of Thieves
expensive.
2. Den of
Den of
Thieves.
Thieves 2. Yes, Den of Thieves 2. Very good movie. I would suggest watching it. Just as good as, not as good as the first one, but worth the price of admission. Den of Thieves 2 Pantera. You still have Gerard Butler and O'Shea Jackson Jr. If y'all don't know who O'Shea Jackson Jr. is, Ice Cube Jr. Basically, he looks just like his daddy.
So the reason he's saying that is because I had no idea. I didn't even know that hardcore rappers were allowed to produce young that could actually do something worthwhile. So there you go. The kid's a great actor. He was really good in that.
And which is funny when you watch Ice Cube talk about him, is he didn't ever try to rap. I don't think he's ever been a rapper.
Well, I mean, Ice Cube doesn't
his
really
dad.
rap anymore either, as far as I know.
No, he still does. Yeah, he released an album not too long ago. But yeah, he still actually Ice Cube still performs. He still tours.
Oh, really?
Yes, he still performs.
So is this? Oh, it's going to be an animated movie. Okay.
Yeah, it's an
Okay.
actual anime. Yeah, it's an actual anime.
Okay.
It's not a live action.
Good. That was. But I'm telling you, man, with as bad as Western entertainment has gotten with all of their messaging and just bad character development, I mean, it's went communist. It's just not good. This drew me to anime, and I'm telling you, this stuff is not everything's good. And anime has this tendency too, I've noticed, that the first block of episodes will be fantastic. And sometimes you'll watch like 5, 6, 7 episodes, and then it'll kind of change direction. And sometimes that's not good. So you kind of lose interest. But
Wow.
yeah, see, it's got an 8.3 too.
As a matter of fact, Ice Cube put out an album in 2024 and just dropped a song today.
Called The Struggles of Being a Rich Man in America. I'm sure it's great.
Well, yeah, it's called my ego. So what do you think?
There you go. There you go.
But yeah, it actually this single just dropped today.
I'll never forget when I first started watching. So I was going to ask you, what was the first anime that got you? We talked a little bit about this in private, but what was the one that got you to be like, okay, yeah, I like this. I like this format.
Well, I always watched Dragon Ball Z, but Dragon Ball Z is a different beast.
Did you
'cause
watch it
it's-
when you were young? Because I know a lot of people.
No,
did.
I didn't. I didn't start watching it until my boys were born. Really and truly, because I remember I actually had my buddy Mark sent me a bunch of Dragon Ball Z that wasn't out here. I don't want to speculate. I know how he got them, but they were sent and they were not translated, so it wasn't even in the U.S. And I watched the heck out of those. But I would say Naruto is the one that's got me on it. I mean, heck, my screensaver's Naruto. My computer stuff is all got Naruto on it. So
Naruto was the one that really got you.
yeah,
hooked you.
Naruto was the first one. But I mean, there's been so many good ones that I've watched. I mean, would I say Naruto's my favorite? Hard to say because we talked about it. Samurai Champloo is
This is the one that got me.
Best.
It's 8.5 for me. It's a 10. I would pay money just to have a season 2 if it was as good as the first one.
Except for the lady passed away.
Yeah, I know it sucks. It's the same person that did Cowboy Bebop, the same group.
Which Cowboy Bebop came first.
And I only recently watched Cowboy Bebop. I watched.
Cowboy Bebop is so good. I could watch both of those.
So she hires these two Ronin, basically Mugen and Jin, to help her to find the man who smells like sunflowers, and the soundtrack is like hip
It's all
hop.
rock.
It's hip hop.
It's
Yeah,
hip hop.
it's
I
a
thought there
fake.
was some old rock and roll stuff. in it, too.
No. It's
Is it
hip.
old hip hop?
Yeah. It's a
No,
hip.
it's Cowboy Bebop that has the old rock and roll.
Yes,
in it.
Cowboy Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop. That's right.
I'm trying to see if it says it in the trivia because it's an actual really famous. Yeah. Oh, here it is. The legendary Nujabes featured. No, that's not it.
But the fact that those two were fighting and then they end up in jail and then she hires them and then they still want to kill each other throughout the whole season.
Because
so good.
Well, because
So
one
good.
of them is the blue haired Jin. He's very traditional samurai, honor, all this stuff.
Yes.
Mugen, on the other hand, he just wants to eat. He don't give a shit who he has to kill to get what he needs. He's just like, yeah, I'll fight him, whatever. Like it's the dynamic between the three, and she's trying to corral the insanity. And meanwhile, like the one where they were like, we're starving, and Mugen's like, you know, you're a girl. You could go make us money. like she's like,
Yeah.
I will not do that. He's like, well, then I guess we starve. Like they just turn on each other all the time, but it's so good. And the soundtrack is amazing. I don't know.
I mean, just like the soundtrack for Cowboy Bebop. It's just great. They're both great.
Let's see. I'm gonna look. Who wrote songs for
Samurai Champloo.
Champloo? Yeah, Champloo.
There's got to be a playlist for.
There should be. Because I remember.
Let me just see if iTunes has it.
Let's see. music. Here we go. Fat John. That's who it is. Is an American hip hop producer, rapper from Cincinnati, Ohio. He put some of it, but he did Nujabes, and I don't remember, but it's got really iconic music. It's like this fusion. It's really good, the whole anime. But so it was on Netflix. My kids were little, and it was a 15-minute drive to take them to school every morning. So when they were getting ready, we'd get up 30 minutes early, and I would look for something to put on because I cut the cable. 12 years ago. I didn't have TV, no rabbit ears. So all I had was Hulu and Netflix. And I did that like 12 years ago, 10, somewhere in that ballpark. So I'd look for something that we could all watch in the morning while we're trying to wake up. I found Samurai Champloo, and we watched every episode of that in the school year. And then I was like, I'm hooked. So I would just that's how I started watching anime. Because back then they didn't have like Looney Tunes or like, young kid shows for kids to watch in the morning. So we would watch anime in the morning. And that's how until I think it was Hulu had Gumball. It's weird, but I love that.
Oh, yes, it is.
I love it. I love Gumball. And what's the Disney one? Mystery Shack. I'd have to ask my son. It's great. The little girl's like, hooks, grappling hook. Mabel, whoever knows, they'll know. And they're probably screaming at their radio. But that one's great. But that's what got me was this anime right here. The first one I ever watched, though, was Ninja Scroll, the movie. And back in the day, with no internet, it's probably people had internet. I just didn't have access to it.
I forgot it was 26 episodes.
Yeah. So, and it says mature. It's just because there's people getting killed, and there's some mature themes. My kids were in junior high.
He basically tells her to whore herself out, so there are some mature things in it.
Yeah, but it's good. It's good. There's no nudity. There's no, anyway, Ninja Scroll, the movie. When did that come out? I think that was in the late 90s.
Well, Cowboy Bebop was 99. Samurai Champloo was 2004.
I'm spelling. There we go. 93. So 93. Ninja Scroll, the movie. It's got 7.8. So my buddy got it on VHS. He had to go to Suncoast Video and special order it. And he had Dragon Ball t-shirts back before I even knew what the heck that was. I was like, I don't know. He goes, you should watch it. It's so good. I'm like, well, if you like it, it's probably horrible. No thanks. So I watched this with him at his house, and I was like, I didn't know what to think. I did not. And I don't like this art style. So
that's kind of Samurai Champloo-ish, though.
Yeah, it is. But at the time, 93, dude, I was still in school. So I was like, I don't know about this. And I had to read the words. Get out of here. Come on, man. Like, no. But since that's happened, I rewatched it. It's really good. It's weird. And you know what I remember from Ninja Scroll? There's one really dark scene between a bad guy and a girl. The second scene I remember is towards the end of the movie. The main character walks by a tomato plant and pulls it off and eats it like an apple. And I was like, you can't do that. You can't do that. What is wrong with you? That's really weird. I don't like this.
It is weird. Weird.
But we'd like to hear what you guys, if you like anime, what was the one that got you?
Well, what's the one Akira. Akira was the actual, I would say, first anime that I actually watched. And it's very different.
I remember you told me, because I was like, I don't know. You're like, you got to watch it. You got to watch it. And
1988, so.
I watched it. It was really good. Well, because when we were younger, the only anime that was really, really popular was the robot, Big Stompy Robotech, and...
Gundam.
Gundam. Thank you. Those were huge when we were kids. And only the real nerds that didn't know what soap was and that came to school smelling like poop and their shoes were duct taped, those are the kids that liked Robotech and Gundam. So
I watched the heck out of some Gundam.
So what are you saying, Kaz? My mom
made me take a shower every day. I didn't have a choice.
But those are just some of the things. Let's see. There was another one. So yeah, Tokyo Ghoul is the beginning of it anyway, is really dark. And you got me to watch Jujutsu Kaisen. I really like that. I still haven't finished. Oh my God, I'm looking for it right
Demon
now.
Slayer.
No, I haven't finished Demon Slayer either. I'm in the. I'm actually in the entertainment district arc, so I'm still there. It's the one that you Kaiju.
Oh, Kaiju 8?
Kaiju 8. I'm trying to find out where I'm at.
There's not very many episodes of that.
I think I'm episode 8. Yeah, episode 9, because the dragons are attacking, and I was like, I've kind of forgot what
you're
happened.
right at the end. So
Yeah,
you're right
yeah.
At the end.
So, I'm gonna probably finish that this weekend. We can talk
You
about it.
should. You should finish that because the ending is going to be like, oh, really?
I mean, the middle of it's pretty really with when he turns into what he turns into. I was like, what the hell?
Well, I really have to pee.
Yeah.
That's such a good. I just don't. I mean, the writing and the way they build the characters. What would take?
No, I haven't seen Ralph. I haven't seen the live Cowboy Bebop. I heard so many bad things.
Why would anybody want to watch the live Cowboy Bebop? They changed it.
Yeah,
they
that's.
made the girl gay. She wasn't.
Oh,
gay.
really? They made her gay?
Yes, she's gay.
Yeah, that's.
Read the. If you read the stuff online about it, they made her gay. Like she wasn't in love with him, and that's. I'm gonna say it out loud. That's bullshit because she was infatuated with him.
Well, she was the femme fatale of the show. Like that was her whole.
But she was infatuated with him.
Yeah, she was with Spike. She did fall in love with him. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
There's no possible way I'm going to watch that.
No, but I will say, and I've said it here multiple times, I really enjoyed One Piece, the live action.
One Piece was good, and I didn't finish it, but One Piece was really good. They did a very good job on that. From what I read, if they're gonna tear up the shit like that, it's like.
Yeah, I don't want to watch it. No. I get that you want to put your mark on it and make it different. That's fine. But if you totally destroy what the character is based on, yeah, you can screw off. Because, I mean, look at the track record. Star Wars, they did it with Star Wars. Everyone hates it. They did it with The Witcher. Everyone ended up hating The Witcher. I mean, we can go down the list of they did it with Star Trek with Picard. They made him a weak, sad piece of crap. Nobody likes it.
Yeah.
So it's like.
He's such a good actor. They just ruined that because he's such a good actor.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm with you. But I will say that the Netflix adaptations have done one thing. I watched Full Metal Alchemist. Full Metal Alchemist, the live version, and I was like,
I have not watched it.
It was okay. I don't really remember, but it made me go back and watch Brotherhood, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and it was really good. It was really.
They did
good.
a really good job with the Airbender Avatar. They did a really good job with that.
Everyone said they hated it.
I don't care. It was good.
My
son has watched.
Oh,
Avatar.
the live act. I was thinking the movie.
The live
that
action.
They did, the anime.
That movie was terrible. But if that movie was terribly done, but it was accurate. If the actual live action was accurate, and my son said it was very accurate to the anime. I don't know if you call it anime or cartoon. I don't know.
I think that one kind of bridges the gap between anime.
Yeah, because it's a Nickelodeon. It was a Nickelodeon thing, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, but if he said it was pretty on par with the cartoon as it went. So if that being said, the movie, as short as it was, had a lot of the same stuff that the live action had. It was just in an hour and 45 minutes. They had to put it all in a short movie.
Right. I remember.
The live action was really good. Really good.
I think that Netflix and basically Western media in general had turned me off at that point that I didn't even really want to give it a chance. So I'll put that on my watch list. I'll give it a watch because my kids. Oh, I know. I remember why I didn't. My daughter is an Avatar fangirl. Like she. Oh yeah. It was one of the. I bought her the complete DVD collection. It's like one of her prized possessions, and she was watching it on Netflix, and I got a speech written to me in text about how bad she hated it.
Oh really?
Yeah, there was something in it. And so she's like, well, screw this. This is what the text had said, if I remember correctly. Screw this. I'm going to watch the new Halo. Next day,
God,
I
no.
got even more of a nasty text message about what they did to Halo. So,
I heard that was even worse than Avatar.
but I
I
watched,
heard that was even worse than Cowboy Bebop.
yeah, it was pretty atrocious. But
You ever get a piece of popcorn stuck in your tooth and it's
yes.
just there?
Hmm.
Sorry, guys. I'm just saying. Just thinking out loud. You know how ADD I am. I don't have it.
You know, the surface of the sun is hot. I just wanted to pass that on. Anyway.
Is it?
I don't.
Superman can touch it.
Yeah, well, Superman's okay. I'm not gonna do it. I already got one episode banned because of
You're
my
just mad
words.
because he looks better in tights than you do.
Allegedly. So, but what the Netflix?
Oh, by the way, y'all can check him out on X. He'll let you know. He'll send you the picture. If
Yeah.
you put him in your DMs, he'll send you that.
No, he
Superman
won't.
type picture. Oh, yes, he will.
But-
He is
but-
a-
but the Netflix adaptations did something. So like I would watch those. I didn't know there was one that you told me you're like, oh, that's an anime. I forget where he uses a sword backwards.
God, what is that?
Yeah, I don't remember. But so I started watching the anime because of that. I didn't know, and I did Death Note that way because the Death Note live action was not good.
No, I heard it was not good, but I heard Death Note is really a good anime. I need to watch that next.
I'm kind
It's
of
only like one season.
yeah, it
really-
is. It is only one season. It's good. I watched it because of the anime, so it led me to the anime. So because the live action was so god awful, I wanted to see like, is the anime this bad? And I was reading on message boards and stuff. They're like, no, the anime's fantastic. So it led me to that. So anyway,
Rurouni Kenshin.
that's it. Yep.
Yeah,
Where he
that's
uses a sword.
It's a very good anime. And the anime is really good, and the live action is really good.
I enjoyed the live action as well.
Yeah, the live action is really
It
good.
as it went though, the other movies got kind of weird.
They were all kind of weird. They were all
Yeah.
kind of weird. But the anime is like that though. It is kind of weird too, like that, because he's so badass, and everybody's just beside themselves to try to kill Rurouni because he left that life. I mean, and once they find out it's him, it's like everybody's like foaming at the mouth trying to get him, and they just can't get him.
No, because he's like a master swordsman, and he's so good that he's tired of killing because it's how good he was. So he starts using his sword backwards, says he doesn't want to hurt anybody.
He has the blade turned around.
That's it, dude. And that's what I'm saying. There's so much diversity, and there is a lot. You do have to. So there is a lot of anime. There's a lot.
There's anime for everybody out there. There's gonna be the anime for the girls and that are more along the lines of femme power, and it's all out there. It's all out there. Then there's even, I mean, what was the one we were talking about? They did on the with our guy that played the leprechaun. That's based off the goddess where she eats them.
Oh yeah, that was American Gods.
Right, so American Gods. So the very first episode, she's having sex with that guy, and then her junk eats him. Remember?
Oh
Very first
yes,
episode.
yep.
Okay, so the one of the first animes that my buddy showed me. I mean, this was after I had watched Akira. He showed me that in an anime. Somebody had made, because it's a goddess, right? That they
Right. It was an
Right.
African goddess of fertility, I
African
believe.
goddess of fertility, yes.
Mhm.
So in one of the animes, he's watched this. I was like, "What do you have me watching
Yeah.
in an anime?" So you have animes like that, then you have other animes. I mean, so you could go from one spectrum to the other.
No, yeah, and I mean they've got everything in between, and you do have to weed through it. So what I'd recommend is if you're new to the anime genre, listen.
But it's just corny.
Yeah.
It's great. Did you not watch One Punch Man?
I watched a couple episodes.
Oh, it gets. I like One Punch Man, but
Okay.
because of the fact that he trained himself to be like that, and all these other people have superhero powers, and they couldn't understand how he got to be like that. So it's kind of kind of like Solo Leveling. The little man can do it too. It's
Right.
one of those types of anime.
All right, we're done with the anime. I think my internet's starting to crap out again. I love Cox. They're so good.
No way. I saw it spinning on the screen.
Yep. So, okay. So let's
All
go.
right.
Let's.
So let's go into how I want to be a pilot.
Okay.
Go into how I
Okay.
want to be a pilot.
All right.
I figure if I could drive a car, I should be able to fly a plane, right?
No.
Does that work like that? It's steering, right? You just steer and push the gas.
There's a little
Doesn't
bit
work
more.
like that?
Little bit
Little
more
bit of
to
that?
it. Little bit more. Little bit more.
You can drive a car and drink and drive, right?
No, you cannot.
You're not supposed to. Some people say they drive better drunk.
Have you seen the old ad where they're getting ready to pass those laws and the guy's cracking a cold one? He goes, "They're trying to ruin this country," and he's drinking one of the old pull tops. That's the funniest video.
Well, I'm gonna say this Southwest airline pilot is probably related to that guy in that commercial.
Oh, God.
So, and guess what? I'm not a frequent flyer. I have not been around the world. I've only been to a few different airports. But I will say Atlanta Airport is one of the worst airports in the world.
Why is that? I'm just asking. I don't know. I've never been to Atlanta.
Know how to say it and not get in trouble.
Is it ghetto fabulous?
It's worse than that. I mean, it's like when you walk in. So we show up. I went to different floors, different parts of the place. Not one machine worked in the entire building.
Really?
There was not one Coke machine, one water machine, one snack machine. It's 10 o'clock at night. We left the airport at like 8, 9 in the morning. So we laid over. You had to leave, it's custom. So you got to get there 2 hours early. So we left the hotel at like 10 o'clock in the morning, go to the airport. You wait 2 hours. Flight leaves like 2:30. Fly into Atlanta at like 6:30, 7 o'clock. Plane's supposed to leave at 9, 8:39. You're delayed at 10, 10:30, and none of the machines in the entire place works. And then all the restaurants and everything shut down in the airport
yeah.
at like 9:30, 10 o'clock. Everything is closed, and you can't get it. The only thing you can do is get a drink out of a water fountain. Or, if you got a cup, where'd you get a cup from? You can't carry a cup.
Wow.
I was just like, oh my God, I hate this airport. But this gentleman, David Paul Alsop, Southwest Airlines pilot, was arrested for allegedly being drunk.
Allegedly. He blew. What did he blow on the alcohol? 0.04 or higher?
You're the one that said you saw it. I don't remember seeing
So
that.
let's
I'm looking
see.
for it now.
I got it here. Southwest airline pilot arrested moments before takeoff. He's like, oh, I got it. Don't. Hey man, I got it.
And you know how he got caught?
How did he get caught?
Because they don't have to check through TSA. I think they have to check their bag.
Yeah, they get like a fast pass or something.
They got the fast pass, yeah. So they just walked through. Well, the TSA agent said he smelled of alcohol and his face was all red, so he looked like he was drunk.
Well, he looks like a guy. His face is normally all red. Let's see here. A Southwest airline pilot. This comes from the New York Post. New Hampshire resident named David Alsop, 52, was arrested. I mean, he's lived long enough. That's fine. Was about to leave Georgia. It departed.
Yeah, 0.04.
0.04. Okay, and that's according to this. Pilots cannot fly if they have a blood alcohol content of 0.04 or higher. So when I was in New Zealand,
he was right on the legal limit then.
Yeah, when I was in New Zealand, I was drinking with some pilots, and they said they had a flight tomorrow at like noon, and we're at the bar at like 9:30. And I'm like, you guys are going to... He goes, oh, don't worry about it, mate. It's 8 hours from bottle to throttle. I was like, oh, great. I have to have these people fly me home. Fantastic.
That was the first thing I saw was they cannot have a drink
And that's what it says right here. Pilots
Yeah.
can't fly within 8 hours of consuming alcohol. They're required to go random alcohol tests every year. To be fair, most of the planes fly themselves now, right? That's what we've been hearing.
That's what I'm wondering is what lines do they have to stay in?
Yeah.
Are there lines?
I think that it's
you
not.
know that dude. You know that guy says, "I can see the bird coming fat better now. I can
Yeah.
see him."
He's
It
like,
looks like 3 of them, and so if I dodge all 3,
he's
I'm
just,
good.
he just closes one eye so he stops seeing double. Oh my
That's
Lord.
what I'm getting at. So I don't understand. You know those pilots.
Oh shit, he refused a blood alcohol test.
He failed the field sobriety test.
Yeah, but he refused the blood alcohol test because he failed the first one. Can you imagine getting arrested for DUI? What were you driving? A Boeing 747? Oh my God.
Well, in his defense, he was probably like, these planes aren't very good anyway. So if I'm drunk,
Which
who
is,
cares?
I saw a video 2 days ago. The difference between, I think it was Delta and Spirit. And Delta, they're treating everyone like they're nice. And on a Spirit flight, they're like, "Excuse me." And the guy goes, "Who do you think you're talking to?" And he's like, "I'm about to throw hands." And they're like, "Can I get a cup?" "Should have brought your own damn cup." Like, they're just so aggressive. A fight breaks out. Dude, that video had me rolling. I've never flown Spirit. There's one guy sitting in the floor, and they're like, "Can I get a seat?" "Bitch, did you pay for a seat?"
I have not seen that commercial.
I'll have to find it.
Oh gosh, but yeah, that's what I've never actually seen a pilot sit down. I usually just see them walking through the airport, and they walk right to the plane and get on it. So, and you always wonder. You've heard what do they do up there with the door closed? They sleep because once they get in the air, they push autopilot.
I'm guessing that's probably accurate. I mean,
I'm sure they take shifts.
yeah,
One person.
depending on how far the flight is, yeah, for sure. I don't know. I don't know. I don't. Now that you mention it, I haven't flown in 15 years, so I don't recall ever seeing my pilot. Like, because of course I'm one of the poors, so I'm always flying by the gas tank in the bathroom.
Oh,
So-
I'm all the way in the back too.
Yeah.
I'm not I have flown first class one time, and if you have the money to fly first class, I would suggest at least doing it once in a while. Or
Vinny has been doing that since his kids are all grown, and now he'll like take a flight if it's not too expensive. He'll fly first class, and he's always
And
sending me
a lot-
pictures and bragging, and I'm like, he calls
a
me.
lot of,
He goes,
Yeah,
"Here's
but-
what it looks like, you poor bastard." And I'm like, "Oh, rub it in."
but I guarantee you, Vinny, I love you, Vinny.
Oh, here it comes. Here it comes.
I guarantee you, if he's smart, he does, because a lot of times they don't book first class all the way. So if you'll pay attention, it's not booked up, and a lot of times they will send you emails saying you can upgrade to first class for like $100.
I think that's
To
what
work.
he's been doing. Yeah, I think that's actually what he's doing.
Yes. Yeah, because I tried to do that on the way back on the last trip, and it didn't work out. They were full. But
I'm
not gonna
always-
lie to y'all. When they show on first class on TV, it's like that on the plane. It's
Really.
it with what'd you say? American Airlines. So American Airlines has their own, I guess, not in our airport because it's a smaller airport, but in bigger airports like DFW, they have a lounge.
That's what Vinny was telling me. He said
And
when
when
he went somewhere, he got to go to the first class lounge. He goes, "I felt so out of place," because he does what we do for a living. He's
Yeah.
not rich.
Yeah. No.
He was
Dude.
like, "Oh, I'm doing this from now on."
When I tell you so it was breakfast time. So they had people up there making omelets. They had people up there they had a spread. They had, you name it, they had fresh oatmeal. They were pouring drinks, and it was all free. All free.
Dude.
All free.
Wow.
I had a very nice scotch at breakfast time. I did. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Wow.
I had a 12-year scotch for breakfast for free.
Oh,
They
my
were pouring
God.
mimosas. They were making
Just
bagels
leave the
and
bottle.
lox.
Just leave the bottle, baby. I'm gonna drink it all before I get on that flight. I'm sitting so far back that I expect the tail to drag when it takes off. Sparks.
But not if you're up there. It's first class.
No,
If you're
but
up there,
I'm not up there. I'm at the
Yeah.
far extreme of that. And they always close the curtain so I can't look up there because they don't want the
I
pour to rub
know.
off.
And you know, like on TV, you ever see you see they give you the nice warm washcloth?
Yeah.
They do that shit. I thought that no, this lady comes
Oh.
by, they're all folded. You can see the steam. She doesn't touch them with her hands. She uses metal tongs. Would you like a nice warm washcloth?
So,
Yeah, bitch, I paid for this. Give me that. I don't
So
know what to
what-
do with it, but give it to me.
so it's like the Brian Regan. I'm so far back, and they're handing out meals. They're like, we have chicken, we have lasagna, and we have raw fish head. And by the time they get back, they're like, congratulations, you get a raw fish head. That's where I sit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what's funny is they do. So, like, if there's, I don't know how many, we'll just say 20 people in first class. So, if there's 20 people and they're offering like 3 different meals, if you don't get whatever one you want when they first come to you and they come back to you, say, hey, I'd like to change up. No, there's only 20. So you're only getting what you can get. It's
gotcha.
not like they're up there cooking it. They got a chef up there cooking, prepping that up for you.
And what's crazy is we're old enough. I'm old enough. When I remember flying, I used to fly to visit my mom who lived here. My dad lived in Colorado. They would put me on a plane by myself, and I'd get some little fake plastic wings. I still have those, by the way, little plastic wings. And sometimes they would only have a seat for me in the smoking section. And yes, they had
I remember
ashtrays.
that.
They had ashtrays in the airplane.
Yes.
You could smoke in a contained coffin in the sky.
So
And
explain to me how they stop. Why all of a sudden it's bad for you?
because it was bad for you then too. It was horrible for you. Yeah, I just remember that. Like
You're right.
I would sit and play with the ashtray on the airplane when I was a
they
kid.
had them. I remember seeing it on TV. It's just like the car. It was in between on the armrest, wasn't it?
Yes, it was in the armrest. You'd just flip
Yeah,
it up.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, I would have to sit in there and it'd just be a pall of smoke. It's just
I
like-
believe I've been on an old enough plane that still had an ashtray on it, but
Yeah.
you couldn't smoke on the plane.
They were still in planes, some planes in the 90s. I flew somewhere one time and they still had it, but they didn't have the actual ashtray. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's changed. It's changed a lot. Some things don't. I'm still flying with the birds and the chickens in the back. It's like Indiana Jones. I'm back there with the livestock. It's
So
like
good.
you want a drink, milk the cow. Okay, I'll milk the goat.
Well, as long as you don't have Mr. Allsop flying, you should be okay.
Just think of this though. If the guy didn't snitch on him, like if he's smart, what he should do is find that guy and beat him, because like that guy's a snitch, and you know how we feel on this show about snitches. They get stitches.
Well, very true, very true. But also on top of that, it was a TSA guy. TSA guys,
They're-
when you go through airport security,
They're perverts.
no, they are assholes. Damn the pervert. If they're perverts, that's fine, but the pervert does not overtake the asshole.
I
Very
don't-
few of them are nice. They all, it's like, now I understand there are rules. You don't bring your drink through, and they have to put up with people. Well, why do I gotta do this, or why do I gotta take my shoes off? Bitch, because the shoe bomber tried to blow up some shit. So now we all gotta wear sandals, and you gotta take your socks off. And you got corn chip smelling feet.
I wore
It's
my
just-
slides. I wore my slides when I flew to New Zealand because I was afraid of that.
Yes.
And the guy goes, "You need to take your shoes off." And I just looked down and I went, "Really?" And he
Yes,
looks
yes.
down and he goes, "Oh, you're good," because he wasn't paying attention. Like I didn't have any of that. But
Oh no, they in a most airports they still make them put their slides in their sandals in the box, and you got to roll it through. Oh yeah.
yeah, he didn't.
They
He
gotta-
didn't.
yeah.
Because I was like, "Really?" Like,
I've
come
had
on.
to make them take my watch off.
It's at a certain point they're just doing it because they're cocksuckers. Because like
Like
really.
I said, they're all assholes.
Come on, man. But yeah, it's government, man. What do you expect? They're like, take your eyeballs out and put them in the tray. What? It's like they don't listen. They're just dumb. They're just there for a paycheck.
Yeah.
Because there's
Oh, yeah.
common sense. But anyway.
Anyway.
Well, I wonder, I'm guaranteeing you, because that industry, I bet he has just lost his job. He'll never be able to
Oh,
fly
definitely.
commercial again. This
Definitely.
guy, because he couldn't stay sober, he just screwed his whole life up. And you know what? More than likely, he's probably going through, he's at 52. I bet he's going through a nasty divorce. Life is not great. This is the thing. You know what I mean? It's like, damn. I can't feel sorry for him because, like, dude, we're under stringent restrictions too. So it's like, you know what, you got to do what you got to do. And I've been through a nasty divorce myself, so it's like you gotta take care of business, man. You can't do this kind of stuff, you know. But I mean, it's good because we still get to talk on a podcast, so it's fine. That's horrible.
You know, another thing we haven't done, we haven't talked about Florida Man in a while.
No, because Florida Man we've had other things. I forgot about Florida Man. It's been quiet on that front.
No. Oh, I got you one.
Ooh.
So check out CNN. Go to CNN. Florida Man pulled over, and this happened 12/13/2024. I just found out.
Okay.
Accidentally shot with his own gun.
Yeah, that's the one. Okay.
So, Jacksonville Sheriff's Office released body cam footage of a police officer accidentally shooting a driver with his own gun during a traffic stop.
Accidentally shoots man with his own gun. Okay. Oh my God.
So he's not resisting. He let them know as soon as he got. I believe he got pulled over for something.
Oh my God.
Yes. So let's see. Here's a better.
Jacksonville Sheriff's Office released body cam footage of a police officer accidentally shooting a driver with his own gun during a traffic stop. The officer was trying to remove the weapon. Of course, you put your finger on the trigger when you remove a gun.
That's the ticket.
Oh my God! These are guys that they carry weapons for a living. It's like you should lose your badge and serve community service picking up human feces in San Francisco if you do stuff like that.
I guess maybe he stole the car. Did he steal the car?
It doesn't say here. I've got the video, but I don't want to play the video. God, there's so many, dude. We worked with a guy, and he had no idea of Florida Man.
So Officer Cardwell was finally able to remove the firearm from the holster. She unintentionally placed multiple fingers inside the trigger guard of the firearm.
Shocking.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I thought maybe you would watch the video. You would watch and see. Yeah.
Another W for the ladies.
Yeah, he's got his hands up on the car. He's got a holster on his hip.
So who's better?
It wasn't in a pocket.
Okay, so who's better, Acorn Cop or her? I don't know. That's kind of a tie. I still think Acorn Cop takes the world's dumbest idiot cop.
I don't know.
He unloaded. Well, Acorn Cop, he unloaded, but his partner, the lady cop, she was just like, he's shooting, I'm shooting too. Poor guy. I still think of him from time to time. I bet he wakes up and craps himself in bed. He's in therapy. The poor guy that was in the back, he's like, I still can't look at acorns. Sorry. That's how my mind went.
It says JSO internal investigation resulted in Cardwell being charged with incompetence, and the agency says it is starting her termination process. Yeah, I think it's a little late. It's on CNN. Your man's getting millions. You're losing your job.
The good news is, what's her name?
Cardwell, Officer Cardwell.
I bet you within 20 minutes of her getting fired, she's got an OnlyFans. What do you bet?
I don't know, because I'm not going to be looking up for her. Well, I mean, she's got great finger action. She knows how to work a trigger pull.
Stop!
I don't know what she's
You guys heard it. It wasn't me this time. It was Kaz. I did.
Other than that, I don't know. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's horrible. So I watched a video earlier today. I was going to bring it up, but it was in Donkey Tooth Land. 3 female cops get this guy, and he's just not wanting to be arrested. So he's like, no, he's not doing anything aggressive. And they start, dude. So it's three female cops, and They finally get him pushed into a corner, and they can't get the handcuffs on him because he's just saying no. He's like, no, I'm not going to let you. And and then one of them starts smarting off and becomes hateful to the other female cops. So those two start bickering, and the guy just gets sick of them fighting with each other. Well, if you'd learned to do your job, Stacy, we wouldn't be in this situation. Well, why don't you? Oh, well, and they just start ripping into each other. The guy goes, oh my God, just handcuff me already. He gets sick of them bickering. Then he gets arrested. He's like, arrest me. Please, just shut up.
Oh, no, I don't know why he wouldn't just walk off.
The amount of female cops, like, I'm not saying there's not a point to it, but there's a point where it becomes ludicrous. If you're like, how many times have we seen the video where they're trying to arrest a guy and the guy just bulls them over and takes off running and they can't catch him?
Now,
It's like,
I won't say you have to have. The only thing about it is you have to have female cops because of arresting female for arresting women. But,
exactly. But I'm like, you don't put them in the hood to arrest full grown ass men. Like, that's not.
No, because they're gonna be overpowered, and it's not gonna matter. It doesn't. I mean,
it's like I've always said, like, we're not all created equal. We're just not. You and I, if Shaq wanted to do things to us, there's not a whole lot we could do except scream and cry. Because he's a big dude. He's not even, like, built like we're not even the same species of human. He's like 6'7" and giant, enormous. Like, he could probably palm my head. There's not a lot I can do if that guy wanted to get physical. Like, he could just pick me up and throw me, you know?
Oh, definitely.
So it's like I recognize that. Like, there's guys that I've seen in my life that I'm like, oh, dude, you're Viking. Nope, I don't want to get on your bad side. You would just destroy me. You know,
yeah. Heck yeah.
So then you get this lady, and she's just like putting her, like, after all the firearm training you do, like, even my own firearms, I don't put my finger on the trigger. Like, you just don't do that.
No. First thing I taught my kids was you never touch the trigger until it's time to shoot.
And don't Kurt Cobain yourself, okay? Do not flash your barrel at anything you don't want to get shot. Like, that's gun safety. Like, the barrel stays downrange at all times. Oh, dude, that's just embarrassing. I feel bad for her to a certain aspect because I'm like, you wonder how much training she got. You know, because...
But the first training she got was how to handle a firearm. And I understand you can't get the gun out of the holster. Okay, if you can't get the gun out of the holster,
ask
you take
for
the holster
help
off the person.
Yes.
You take the whole holster off.
Yep. It's probably one like I have that clips into your pants. So she's like taking my pants off, and then I'm like, hello.
I was gonna ask what happened if that would have been a pelvic holster.
Yeah. See, I've got one that tucks into my waistband. It clips on, so you can't get the holster out if somebody's struggling with it. It's really difficult to get it out. So
he would have lost his jump.
Well, he probably did almost. He's going to sue them for everything.
I'm telling you, she lost her job and he got millions.
Yep.
Because they're going to sue
incompetence, exactly.
Attempted murder. I could have bled out. It's all he was, and I'm just saying it. He was black. She was white. I'm just saying
that's a hate crime. Yeah,
it's a hate crime. Oh, I'm just saying. I'm not saying it was a hate crime or that it was racial.
No, but that's what he's going to say. Dude, all of it's up.
I'm telling you, if a black cop shoots me, it's going to be racist. I'm just telling you right now off the bat. He was trying to kill a man.
He made comments about my bald ass head saying I was racist. Yeah.
He said something about he was packing more than I, and I thought that was racist.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Sir, it could be true. Don't matter if it's true. He shouldn't have said it. Well, that's another story. That is so stupid, man. And I know I crack on cops all the time. I just think most people aren't capable of being police. I think it takes it's like going into the military. I think it takes a special kind of person that can handle that kind of a job. And I think most people aren't capable of handling it. They think they are. But they're not. It's like my oldest daughter. She's not very big. She's like tiny. I call her a pocket person. She tried to join the Marine Corps. I let her because I'm like, you're 19, do what you want. She's got little man syndrome. She thinks she's like a chihuahua. and she was bragging about all the stuff she did. I just picked her up and folded her like a pretzel, and she got so upset. I was like, "That's the real world, kid. You're not half as big as you think you are." And I don't work out. So I was able to do that from sitting on the couch to pick her up and just walk around with her. Like she couldn't do anything.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like it's just, I know it's not fair. I wish I was athletic. I'm just never going to be able to play in the NFL. So I don't know. It sucks. And I think cops have a very impossible job. And what sucks with their profession, I think it's a lot of that, is the dumbasses ruin it for the good guys.
Definitely.
Because we can't live in a
That's
society without cops. We just can't. We can't, because most people are incapable of defending themselves. They look for somebody else to save them. So anyway, speaking of that, did you see the ICE raids going on in Boston? I watched a news video this morning about it. Holy crap.
No.
So Boston's a sanctuary city, and with the new Trump executive orders,
I thought he was hitting Chicago first.
this was a actual news program.
That's he dangled it in front of him, and Boston thought they were going to be good to go. And
Boston basically got put between a rock and a hard place because it's a federal thing. They can't actually deny them entry to do their job. They can stop. They cannot help them, which Boston's not helping them. They had these guys arrested. They let them go. And then ICE came in and just started swooping these guys up. And it was on a Boston news station, and they were like, they got like, I don't know, 10 or 15 of these guys. And one of them's from, I think, Somalia. He was arrested on very heinous crimes against women. And when they arrest him, he's like, F Trump. It's like, no, dude, you shouldn't have been here if you're going to do that kind of crap.
I agree.
So let's get into that, if that's okay.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm looking at it right now.
So we got so he came in with these executive orders. Dude, he signed a crap ton, man.
Over 200. I can't find an exact amount. We're Executive Order 213. So was it 212?
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
That's where I am. I'm on the same website because that was the best website. That Axios was the best one I could find that had the list of. He declared emergency. He declared an emergency at the U.S.-Mexico border. I like that.
Let's see. Maybe this will work. This is whitehouse.gov, I think. Presidential actions. Enforcing the Hyde Amendment. I don't know. First 100 hours. I'm looking. I don't know. I couldn't find it either. I found one.
He reinstated the Remain in Mexico policy, ending a program that released asylum seekers into the U.S. This is
Make America Safe Again. President Trump will take bold action to secure a border. I did see that he was pushing the Marines down on the border, which those guys eat crayons. No, you don't. Those guys don't have a safety switch. You send them in and you're just like, try not to kill everyone. And they're like, no guarantees. No guarantees, boss. I've seen videos in Afghanistan where snipers are shooting at him and the commander's like, did that bastard just shoot at us? And they're like, yeah, there's the round. And he's like, oh, no, sir, that is not going to go. And then he obliterates the entire hill.
Yes. The ones, I know we're getting off topic sometimes, guys, but I watched one of them getting shot at by sniper fire, and the guy has his helmet on a stick.
Yeah.
And is poking it up in the air. So the sniper will shoot at his helmet. And I'm like,
there is a video out there. It's
so good.
It's an old video, and I think it's either Russian. I think it's Russia when they were in like the Middle East, and these two dudes are sitting there. And if you find the video, it's guys being guys. These two dudes are sitting there, and he puts his helmet on a stick and he shakes it, and the sniper's firing it. Him and his buddy are howling, laughing. And then his friend says, because you can find the translate, he goes, "It's funny until he fires an RPG at our ass." And he puts a coat on it. He's like, "Wooga, wooga, 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 wooga," and the sniper's shooting at it, and they're just cracking up laughing. So
guys will be guys.
So
back to
these are Trump Vance administration priorities. ending Biden-era catch-and-release policies, reinstating Remain in Mexico, building the wall, ending asylum for illegal border crossers, cracking down on criminal sanctuaries, and enhancing vetting and screening of aliens. I don't see that as bad. That's good for America. It's like every country has to secure their borders. They can't allow unfettered access because you're going to end up with real bad things.
We're the only country that's like that. I mean,
I think Canada's somewhat like that, isn't it?
No. Dude, you can't even take fruit into Canada. They check your car.
Well, I know like a lot of celebrities aren't allowed in Canada. Like I think Kevin Smith had a drug charge and they wouldn't let him come into Canada.
Yes.
So
yes.
F off.
Yeah.
It says armed forces, including National Guard, will engage in border security. And I always laugh, and I've said this to you before. It always cracks me up when they go, the National Guard's moving in, and everyone acts like it's a big deal. And I'm like, these people are so stupid they don't give them actual live ammunition because they're afraid they'll blow their faces off. Because they're like part-time soldiers. Like most of them, you'll see them standing in a line and their ARs will be unarmed with no optics. It's just like, they were like, oh yeah, if you look at most pictures of National Guard, they don't have ammunition for their guns. So I'm like, they're just standing there. It's just a show of force. I've never seen National Guard, except when they were deployed overseas, actually get live ammo.
Well, when the tornado came through, my buddy was in the Guard. He, because he went to the military and then went to the Guard. So they deployed the Guard in my mom's neighborhood. They had live ammo. They had shoot to kill orders.
Oh wow!
For looters. Yeah,
President Trump will begin the process of designating cartels, including the Tren de Aragua, as foreign terrorists. Oh shit, that's huge.
MS-13s and the MS-13. Yeah. I did like the executive order where he said that about the electric cars.
What did he say about that? I didn't see that.
Basically, he federal procurement targets for clean power, electric vehicles, and other energy goals. He basically came out and said that the car, because they had said that they wanted to go all electric by what
2035, 2035, I think.
So that's why a lot of car dealerships or car makers are going to electric. He basically said, you can make whatever you want to make.
That's the way it should have been.
And because people are going to buy whatever they want to make. It's like if people want to buy Elon Musk, if they want to buy Tesla, they're going to buy Tesla.
Right.
If they want to buy,
they shouldn't be. Governments shouldn't
500 horsepower gas car, and
they shouldn't be telling the companies what to force them what to make like that. I find that's anti-capitalist. It's like if there's a market for the electric cars, the companies will find it and they'll make it. But now they've got Ford dealerships all across the nation that are stacked with these cars that nobody wants.
I do believe he did write an executive order about there's only two sexes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could give a shit about all that. That's yeah. The Department of Justice will seek the death penalty as the appropriate punishment for heinous crimes. So he's reinstated the death penalty.
But that's the state by state thing, though.
Right, so but so I don't know what that means.
Maybe we're going back to firing squads.
Including
cool. Show them on TV.
Yeah, pay-per-view. I've said that forever. Pay-per-view for these heinous crimes. Give the money to the families that were, that somebody like this piece of human filth killed some kid. Pay-per-view, and it goes directly to the families. It's not going to bring back their loved one, but it'll give them a little consolation. That's horrible.
He did an executive order to bring all federal employees back to work.
President Trump's energy actions empower consumer choice in vehicles, shower heads, toilets, washing machines. So I'm guessing all those were supposed to be like total electric. So now he's saying you can.
No, remember they've dialed back on water pressure on shower heads.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Toilets, they wanted them to only flush a certain amount of water. So the toilet, it's
God, I hate the government.
But yeah, that was a government deal.
I didn't know that. I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, shower heads, the toilets.
What the hell is that? God, I hate them. I hate that last government.
I can understand it. I can understand in California, because our president, their governor, is not releasing the water.
That dude's a lizard. You can't tell me he's not. He's wearing the face of a human. That guy is not human. He's something else. He came from San Francisco, where he took a really beautiful city and turned it into a human
it's a-
waste disposal
I
plant.
believe he wrote another executive order. All military personnel that were
Oh yeah,
discharged
reinstatement.
because he reinstated them in back pay. Which I mean, we're already $60 million in debt, but go ahead.
Yeah,
Uh, they
I'd
deserve it. I mean,
I'd
because
rather
if you
them
don't
get
want
the
to take
money.
if you don't believe in taking the vaccine, you should have had to. He did write an executive order pardoning all the January 6th.
Oh, so funny story. Apparently, one of those guys, his son turned him in. So he had went there, got away, I guess, and the Democrats were doing this political witch hunt. It's fine if it's for Black Lives Matter. You can burn down cities and beat people to death with bricks. That's fine, no prosecution. But you walk into a government building that the FBI opened the door for, and you should go away for the rest of your natural born life. And you don't see that as political, like socialist, communist bullshit, then there's something wrong with you. Anyway, this kid, off the soapbox, Mac. Sorry, Mac. I can't even get my name right. But this kid turned his dad in. So Trump signed that. This kid is talking to some news reporters saying, "I'm sitting in my house with a gun. My dad's coming home." It's like, I wouldn't want to be you. He's gonna turn you in as an illegal alien. Your ass is going to Guatemala, bud. That's
Executive order for the TikTok.
Oh, is that why TikTok came back up? Because it went down for
Well-
like 12 hours?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. I know when I woke up, there was no TikTok, and while I was at the movies, TikTok came back on. That's all I know.
President Trump's energy policies will end leasing to massive wind farms that degrade our national landscapes and fail to serve American energy needs. So my ex-father-in-law had a windmill on his property, one of those giant ones. They gave him something like $15,000 a year to have that windmill on there. So it's something ridiculous.
But they pay for the damage to the property, plus to have easement rights to get on there.
Yeah. He'll withdraw from the Paris Climate Accord, which I think is where a lot of that EV stuff.
Yes, the World Health Organization. Is that what that is?
No, that's the WHO. This is a Paris Climate Accord. I believe that's where all the energy, neutral carbon, all that shit is coming from. It's like there's a way to do things right. Like you want to reduce pollution. I'm 100% for that. Like when we were kids, guys would drain their oil in their freaking front yard and then just replace it.
Well, let's just be honest. Oil came from the ground, so why can't it go back in the ground?
But it's got a lot of chemicals and additives. So, like, I get...
My father poured it down the fence line, and I never had to weed eat the fence. So I was never mad at him.
Yeah. President Trump will unleash American energy by ending Biden's policies of climate extremism, streamlining permitting, and reviewing for rescission all regulations that impose undue burdens on energy. So, okay, including mining, producing of non-fuel minerals. Okay, I'm all right with that. Will withdraw from the Paris. All agencies will take emergency measures to reduce the cost of living. I don't know what that means. Will announce the America First trade policy. America will no longer be beholden to foreign organizations for our national tax policy, which punishes.
Pull out of the World Health Organization.
Yeah, I saw that too. I applaud that one. I applaud that one. The president will usher a golden age for America by reforming and improving the government bureaucracy to work for the American people. He will freeze bureaucrat hiring except in essential areas to end the onslaught of useless and overpaid DEI activists buried in the federal workplace. He will pause burdensome and radical regulations not yet in effect that Biden announced. I'm for that. I did see that somebody said, I didn't see it. Somebody was telling me, it was Vinny or Duke that was telling me that they basically put a freeze on all DEI stuff and basically said, like, consider this your termination. Like you no longer have a job if that's your department. That they've gotten rid of the departments. And we're 4 days in. We're 4 days in. A lot of this stuff has happened in just 4 days. So
he declassified files related to the assassinations of JFK, RFK, and Martin Luther King Jr. I'm sorry, but we don't need to know.
I think that could cause more harm than it could good. I mean,
Now,
it's
let's be honest, because if I truly believe that the alphabet killed JFK.
100%. Yeah, I'm
Um,
100% behind that. I think so
Probably
too.
Martin Luther King Jr. too. We don't know as much about that, but
Oh, here we go. President Trump is taking swift action to end the weaponization of government against political rivals. I agree with
I
that.
like that. I like that.
But no, you're right with the JFK thing. It's like, but it's been so long ago. I mean, you're talking
Almost
60s.
everybody should be. Everybody that was involved in that.
The only people that don't want to know that don't want it out are the people that did it, really, because everyone else is
Really?
kind of like, yeah,
But
okay, it's over.
let's just be honest. So let's just say the CIA did do it. Do we need to know that our government will kill our president?
We already know that. They do it overseas all the damn time. I mean, we're in the Battle of Ukraine right now because of the CIA getting involved in shit with the Biden administration. I mean, there's
But
like,
that's what the CIA is for foreign stuff, but the CIA to kill an American president. So that would mean that all of the alphabet was in on that.
yeah, that's true too.
Because the guy that they passed it off on to have killed JFK was killed while had two cops on each side of him. How do you get to a guy that, even in the 60s, how do you get that close?
Yeah.
You know. So
They did.
anyway.
He is taking care of the people in North Carolina. I heard
He suspended all foreign aid
I wish.
for 90 days until the California, North Carolina, Florida. There's one more state that was
California?
hard hit. California, North Carolina, Florida, and somebody else. There was 4 states that were hard hit by disasters in the last couple of years. All 4 of those states, until they get those states, those people, the American citizens taken care of, and I applaud that.
Yeah, I think they should. I mean, that's what the government is there for.
Hawaii.
Is to,
It might have been
Hawaii. Yep.
I think it was Hawaii. Sorry, Hawaii. He's formally establishing the Department of Government Efficiency. He's renaming Denali to Mount McKinley and the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America.
Really? Nuh-uh. Oh my God. Wow. I did see he put a 90-day moratorium on all foreign spending. So, like, the war in Ukraine is done. Did you see?
That's the one that till Americans were taken care of for 90 days. That's in that. That's part
Okay.
of that, yeah.
Okay.
The other one, he's gonna help try to develop the AI plant better.
Yeah, Vinny was telling me something about that. I did see he signed a deal too with Saudi Arabia. It was like hundreds of millions of dollars. So we'll see how that goes. Because Biden pissed them off, and they were, part of the reason gas was so expensive.
He did, and the other thing was he reinstated drilling. He said, "Drill, baby, drill."
Okay.
And I like that because gas and natural gas.
Putting people over fish, stopping radical environmentalists to provide water to Southern California. I agree with that.
Yeah, because that was the thing that's one of the reasons why they were having problems in California with the fires.
Yeah, because of
water.
some fish. Like, I get being environmentally conscious. Like I said, all of it. Like, I get trying to cut down on pollution. I support
trying
that.
to save the saber-toothed tiger.
I'm
just saying.
I think his wife got eaten by it. That's why.
There you go. Let's have a fish fry and get some water into California.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm
Well,
sorry.
it's a fish. Now, I'm not particularly versed on this, but I believe it was a fish that hasn't been seen in like over 100 years, and it's
Well, guess what? It's going to be another 100 years before you see a damn fish. You can get the water flowing.
it's like it's like I say with a lot of this, there is a fine line between. Like I said, I am all for protecting the world that we live in. Like, I don't want
Definitely.
I don't want our rivers that you can light on fire like they had up in like Michigan and stuff at one time. I don't want you to poison the water from,
No,
like
God, no.
there's a line in there that's like companies are responsible for the damage that they cause, and there should be rules that they have to follow. But when it becomes fucking ridiculous, we have to draw a line and go, no, that's too far. Like all cars have to be electric. We don't even have the infrastructure to maintain that. Can you imagine just in Oklahoma if everybody went electric? We'd have blackouts. We'd have complete rolling black. Like you couldn't power our state, and we're not a big state.
Let's see. I can have air conditioning in my house or an electric car. Let me think.
And how am I going to get to work? I can't. Yeah, it's exactly right.
But if I can't have air conditioning in my house and I have an electric car, can I charge my car?
No, exactly.
Would my car, if I left my car running in the garage, it's electric, would it cool my house?
No.
Okay,
There's he did a hiring freeze.
Yes, hiring freeze on the government at the same time when he made everybody go back to work.
So, return to work in person.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody was arguing with me about this, and they go, "That's a good thing." I said, "Yes and no. It just depends on what they're doing. You know what I mean? Because like, and this goes back to a few months ago. I was talking about Ubisoft, and I believe they're in Toronto, and that's a really expensive city to live in. So these people are still doing good work, but they're satellite. They work from home, but they're still producing. It's like." You have to be able to produce in order to do that. I can see coming into the office. I mean, your wife works from home a few days a week.
Couple days a week, yeah.
So like, there's a line there, but like, you can't. I don't know, man. It's a fine line there too. It's like everything is not, and that's what scares me. It's like I don't want to go radical on the other side either. There's like it's common sense.
Definitely.
We need to have common sense, but
restoring federal jobs. I mean.
I'd like to know what federal job you're doing from home. Like, honestly, like which job, and there's how many federal, I'm going to look that up real quick. How many people, how many employees, hold on.
And you were talking about ICE.
Yes.
Have you ever seen ICE raid?
No, I have not. I haven't.
They're showing when ICE raids your job. Shows the Hispanic organization released this video instructing illegal immigrants on how to hide when ICE shows up.
Telework and remote work are two.
The internet is undefeated.
I'm just curious. So it's 12%. 12% of people. So it says, do all federal employees have to return to the office? Heads of all departments and agencies in the executive branch of government shall, as soon as practicable, take all necessary steps to terminate remote work arrangements. And to me, it depends on what you're doing, but you would think that you wouldn't want the government to be just using Cox to do their work from home because it could be sensitive, but I'm sure they have something. How many federal employees work from home? How many federal? Yeah, that's what I put. It doesn't say.
Oh, they don't want you to know that.
No, there was
while we're talking about executive orders, you keep on. Did you see Biden pardoning his cabinet? From the COVID. How can you pardon somebody that hasn't been tried?
I don't know. I don't
understand.
I mean that.
I thought you had to be. I thought a pardon was like President Trump pardoned, and I don't know much about this. He did pardon. I just saw it. The 2 police officers.
Use the words. I'm
trying to find it. The 2 police officers that murdered. Where'd it go? This is a long. But yeah, anyway, I don't believe that Biden should have been able to pardon Fauci and them when they haven't been actually charged with anything. Just like he pardoned his son.
The report showed a total of 2,277,000 employees as of May. Independent agencies account for all but 2% of. Okay, no, that's not right. It said 1 million must work on-site full-time and 1 million are eligible to work off-site, among whom 228,000 are remote workers. Is that right? How many federal employees work from home? So it's like a million. It's like a million people. Because I can imagine how expensive it is in Washington, D.C. I mean, that place is probably outrageously expensive to live in a nice place because it's a ghetto. Washington, D.C. is like the hood.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, I found it. He pardoned the 2 police officers convicted for the 2020 murder of Karen Hilton Brown, a 20-year-old black man in Washington, D.C. I remember those were big riots. I don't remember much about it. I just remember it was a big riot. But that's what I thought a pardon was for somebody that was convicted of a crime.
I agree with you. To me, it seems like they did something shady.
Uh-huh.
Well, what's funny, and I don't know if this is true. I'm going to look it up. I don't know if I'll find anything. But I saw on X. Let me see.
So supposedly Trump removed Fauci and John Bolton's security details.
Yeah. Okay, no evidence. I saw this. It would have been funny if he did. Post on X alleged that Putin wanted to extradite in exchange for ending the war in Ukraine, Fauci for trial in Russia. I was like, dude, that's a win-win for everybody. I'm like, I'll pay for his plane ticket. Let's do this. But yeah, that shit is sketchy. I really think that they know that they were doing illegal stuff. But what somebody said is he can't pardon himself. So I think these investigations, they should investigate everybody for the last 8 to 16 years that had any involvement with corruption.
A former president can be tried.
I don't know if this is true, but somebody said it is tradition for the incoming president, as soon as he takes power, to pardon the former president of all crimes done while in office.
Yes, I believe that's
if
true.
Trump doesn't do that, then yeah, it's not socially done. It's not been done before, but I think this time it should be done, and I think they should make that dementia patient walk the plank. I'm sorry. They did more to destroy our country, in my opinion.
That was another thing. I know I cannot find that executive order. He did write an executive order that's going to investigate Biden's.
Well, and I heard something and I did see something that they were going to investigate insider trading too.
Well, because supposedly supposedly Biden didn't do a couple of the last executive orders, something like that were written, or that he signed stuff that he didn't know he was signing. Supposedly, that's the rumor. I don't quote me on that, but I did read that somewhere, and it could be fake news.
So
but I did read that.
The problem I have with all of this, and we might agree with some of the stuff that Trump's doing. We might agree with most of what he's doing. My problem is, though, with the executive order thing, it's almost like we have an emperor, and that's not how our democracy is supposed to go. And it's great as long as you... Well, hold on. I don't... It's like we like it because he's doing it for us. But that just means, because Biden came in and screwed us with those executive orders. So, at a certain point, it's like that becomes a dangerous slippery slope. And it says here, Trump has signed a total of 220 executive orders. Total. 72% of them have been revoked. That was the first time.
Right.
So when did they start? When did executive orders? When was the first executive order?
I don't know, but here's what the definition of an executive order is before you get into that. Is a signed, written, and published directive from the President of the United States that manages operations of the federal government. So it's not a law.
Okay.
It's a direct, it's for operations of the federal government.
Okay.
So
Okay, well then that's okay. That's completely different. See, I was under a different assumption, so well that answers that. So never mind. The first executive order, June 8th, 1789, addressed to the heads of the federal departments. It instructed them to impress with a full, precise, and distinct general idea of the affairs of the United States in their fields. Basically, get to work, do your job. 1789. So I don't.
I can see what some of those are. So now that I know the definition, it's a directive. Basically, it's not to the people or about the people, because, like you said, some of them are revoked because they go through Congress, and Congress is like, that's not good.
No, yeah. So, but I have to say, most of what I've seen out of this first 4 days of the Trump administration, and you and I I think we align pretty close politically. We're not really Democrat. We're not Republican. I think we have tendencies that side with, because you're like me. You're socially liberal. You don't care how a person wants to live their life as long as they don't hurt other people in the process. It's fine. You want to marry a donkey, marry a donkey. I think it's weird, but man, live your life. I don't care. Which is not what conservatives have very firm stances on that. But it's like, we're socially liberal, but we're, I think, physically conservative, which kind of puts us at a weird juxtaposition. But here lately, especially with the Trump presidency, I have become Republican in a lot of my takes, simply by the fact that the Democrats have went so far left that, like, you can't even remotely identify with them, because they're more socialist, and I don't want our country to become socialist. And I've never been politically active in my life. Like, dude, when we first started talking, I never brought up politics. We just talked about games and anime and movies. And it's only been the last really 4 years that I've gotten interested in it. And it's because it's starting to hurt everyone with their policies. I did see a story today, too, because I just thought of this. I was going to tell you earlier. You know Riley Gaines, right? The swimmer.
Yes.
Well, apparently she married her husband. He's English, from England. So he sounds like this.
Okay.
But they got married 3 years ago. He can't get his citizenship. Do you know why? He's done everything. He didn't take the COVID vaccine. And didn't they just put out a report, a 500-page report, that said that it was all mostly nonsense what they implemented? It's like,
really?
He can't get it because of that. And I wonder how many other people are like that. And it's like, I don't want an experimental vaccine in my body. And I know there's the people that are one way or the other. My take is, they did decades of research on a lot of the other vaccines. How much did they do with the COVID one? Like, here's COVID. 3 weeks later, we've got a vaccine that's 100% effective 20% of the time. Like, it's like, take the vaccine. Okay, great. Will it keep me from getting COVID? No. But it'll keep you from spreading it. Well, maybe. You still have to wear a mask. You still have to do all that stuff. Well, then what's the point? It's because we said so. It's like, that line of logic is where a lot of people broke, because it's like, just be truthful with us. Say, well, no, but it increases your chances of living if you do contract. Like, be genuine, be honest. And there was a lot of lies going on. You and I had tons of discussions about it. Neither one of, and we still don't know. I don't know. I don't know if what I did was the right thing. I don't know if what you did was the right thing. I don't know if Vinny did the right thing, because it seemed like everyone was lying to us. So, but yeah, I'm hopefully optimistic, but we'll have to wait. And when does his tariffs go online? Because he's got tariffs, I guess, that are getting ready to hit too.
I'm not for sure about that. I'm very worried about the tariffs.
Me too. Because everyone's like, here's how it's going to work. And then other people are like, here's how it's going to destroy our country.
But Elon said his if he does his tariffs right, and I only believe Elon knows what he's talking about because he is a very good businessman, that if he does his tariffs right, they'll be done in, like, time frames. Like, you have to do this by this and this by this, or this massive tariff will hit you. Because that's why foreign cars they're still a foreign car, but they're made in the USA. So like a lot of foreign cars are, say, a Kia, but it was put together in the USA. So they send it over in pieces, and then they put
Right.
it together in a factory in the United States.
There's a great video on how effed our government is by the fat electrician, where it's basically a deal with Germany to supply them with chicken. And if you follow that rabbit hole down, it's the reason we can't buy a Toyota Hilux here in the United States and why our pickups are so damn big. It is a fascinating watch. I highly recommend it. It's a fat electrician, so you guys should go and check that out. Yeah.
There's a new pickup truck that I actually looked at, and I can't remember if it's a Ford. It might be a Ford, but you can't buy it in the United States.
Right, and which is weird because it's like that's our home territory. That's our car company. My thing is that so Vinny was explaining it to me, and it sounds good on paper. Basically, he's going to tax everybody that's importing into the United States, so that he's going to deregulate a lot of the American stuff, so that they can compete with foreign manufacturers, and so that the tariffs are going to make it a level playing field, and so that Americans will be more than willing to buy American products, because he's trying to reinvigorate the American manufacturing here locally. So the only way to do that is to make it easier and more financially viable to run a company here versus, let's say, India or Mexico. Well, so that's what Vinny, and I said, well, okay, I can see that working, but my fear is that it's going to take too long, and his presidency is going to run out. Meanwhile, bread's $18 a loaf. I'm just using that as an example. It's a bad example, but that the tariffs end up costing us far more before we can actually implement any of it, because government historically is slow like a snail, and they take a long time to really screw the American people. It's a slow process where you're like, ow, okay, that's not so bad. Ow, okay, that's not so bad. It takes time. So I'm wondering how they're going to do. And again, you and I, not economics majors. We're not.
God, no.
We're barely able to create a podcast.
To do things now.
Mm-hmm. But I think with the oil stuff, if that brings gas back down, that should ease a lot of hardships as far as, because like everything, I don't know how it is in other countries. I don't know how they get stuff from, to market. But in the United States, it's all trucks. Mm-hmm. Predominantly. Yeah, very little is put on rail lines. And
there's a lot of rail car stuff. I mean,
yeah, but like where we live, it's mostly big trucks. You see them all over our highways. I mean, today when I was coming back from Duke's house was just flooded with semis. And the thing is they use fuel. So if it takes them $1,000 to fill up their big O tanks, they're not going to eat that cost. They're passing it on to consumers. I mean, I do know that. So if it costs them $50,000 to ship it, that trailer full of stuff, guess what? They're going to make $75,000 on the return. They're going to make a profit, or why be in business? I'm not in business for charity. So we'll see how it goes. I'm hopefully optimistic.
Yeah, I'm very optimistic.
When does Elon and the other guy start doing their stuff? Have you heard?
Not for sure.
Vivek.
I'm not for sure.
And I know Kash Patel is supposed to be in charge of the FBI. Is that right?
I did not. Did they all get vetted? Did they all?
They're doing his vetting with another person on January 29th. So
we don't even know who got what.
Starts. Let's see. Kash Patel. Hearing set for Kash Patel nomination to lead the FBI. So that'll be on January 29th. And then there was another one, and I can't remember.
And then so did the guy get Secretary of Defense?
I don't know. I
haven't heard.
I
haven't heard. I didn't see anything about it.
You could tell Kaz and we do a ton of research before we start this.
But we weren't going to talk about that anyway.
No.
About the executive orders.
Is there any of those executive orders that you disagree with?
I haven't seen them all.
But the ones that you've seen, I looked through.
Some of them I didn't really give two shits about.
Yeah, like the boy and girl thing.
That's.
I think that they shouldn't allow boys to go into girls' locker rooms. Vice versa, girls shouldn't go into boys' locker rooms. I think there should be but why not just have, and I know you can't do this in a perfect world. It's like, well, like I feel bad for those people. I'm not like we should ostracize them and kick them out of society.
No.
I feel bad for people that are like that because they're like, I can't imagine being in the situation that they're in where they really, truly don't belong. And it's like, yeah, you want to welcome them in and treat them with kindness and dignity. But at the same time, I don't want you whipping out your little Willie in front of my daughter. Sorry.
Right.
Like,
I agree.
I'm sorry. Like, it's not fair. Guess what? Life's not fair and it sucks for everybody at times. So that one I was kind of like, okay, there's only two genders. Sure. I didn't really care about that. I didn't know that 1,600 people had been arrested for January 6th. That is ridiculous, in my opinion. That was all political theater. I think the only person that got killed was a cop shot that lady and killed her.
Yes, she was in the military, the lady in the military.
Mm-hmm. And then you come out and they do the hearing on it, and you start to see that they're like, you're like, wait a minute, this sounds like this was a setup. That's bad. So I don't know. And I said this before. I said, if he's going to do it, he better hit the ground running. And this dude didn't take off running. He got in a jet car and took off.
Oh, yes, he did. Yes, he did.
So hopefully this stuff works out. I mean, I know when he was president last time, my dollar went a lot farther than it has been. So
I agree.
Bring it on. I don't care if I don't.
No, if gas prices go down, I still don't see like groceries and stuff going down.
No, it never goes down.
You will see a drop because I remember when gas went up to $5 a gallon here, milk was very expensive. When it went back down, the milk did go down in price.
Oh, did it? I
remember going back down because heck, at the time I was buying 3 gallons of milk a week.
Oh, gee. Oh yeah, because your boys are savages. Yeah,
they're savages. Oh yeah, drink 12 glasses of milk a day. I was like, golly, why don't y'all drink Coke? Get fat, shit.
Why? Well, I mean, you're married to a woman. Why can't she just make milk? Guy.
I think it's
you're
good
poor
for like the first 2 months, the 6 months of their life, but
after
that, then they're called sissies.
No. Then you go on Jerry Springer because you got a effed up family. There's a documentary about Jerry Springer on Netflix, by the way. I had forgotten all about it.
Wasn't he?
He was the mayor of. I think he ended up being a senator. I think they said he was a mayor and he was a news broadcaster. And he wanted to make his own. He had made the Jerry Springer show like Donahue, and nobody was watching it. It was boring.
Oh, yeah.
And then they got this tabloid guy that used to write articles for the tabloids. He took possession of the show, and apparently Mr. Springer didn't like it. But it ended up taking off. And it was like they wanted people to get in fights. They would piss them off behind the scenes. I'm just like, I couldn't watch it. It just felt dirty, the whole thing. I never watched the show either. My ex-wife loved it. It would be on our house all the time. I just tuned it out. I couldn't stand that show.
I remember I had a job and I went into different places, and whatever time it was on in every place I went in. Every single place. I had multiple places that I went. Every place was watching the Jerry Springer show. Everybody watched it when it was at the height of its...
Yeah, like everyone knew it. It was one of those cultural phenomenons. Anyway, this is the last thing I got.
Okay.
This headline. Florida beats Alaska's seasonal snowfall after Gulf Coast snowstorm. And I saw people on X making fun of people in Florida for like getting in wrecks and stuff. Let's pull back for a second. It's Florida. They don't get snow. These people were probably seeing this and pulling out their shotguns to kill it. Like, I can't imagine that. A snowstorm of historic proportions walloped. Wow. Learn your words, Mac. The Gulf Coast this week, delivering travel snarling. This person has a thesaurus. from Texas to the Carolinas, breaking records that have stood for more than a century. And I always hate this too. When this stuff happens, people go, dude, that's global warming right there. It's like, oh, please just shut up. Stop talking. I just don't want to hear anything you have to say. This is a once-in-a-lifetime event for a lot of these folks down there. Yeah, I would say so. I imagine your grandparents haven't seen that kind of snow.
Oh, God, no. I
Nine
saw
9 inches from this week's snowstorm. Lafayette, Louisiana is beating Chicago's snowfall so far at 8.9 inches in Louisiana.
Oh, I heard New Orleans got 10, I believe.
That's a lot of snow,
It's a
dude.
lot
That
of
would
snow for a place that never gets snow.
I mean, we get snow here. We get snow every year, but it usually lasts for what? At most, maybe a week.
Mm-hmm.
But like our roads will be clear like the day after that. But we've had some real bad ones because when we were younger, it was bad. So what it was that's what it was. It said, this is how Florida salts the roads. It's a pickup truck with two dudes in the back with cups with salt. And that was like, well, what do you expect? They don't have equipment to deal with that. So yeah,
Wow.
that's crazy, man. I just can't imagine. It's 56 there right now, by the way. So they're good. They'll be out of the snow pretty quick. Did you, real quick, the California fires? So Oregon, Washington, and other states were sending fire trucks and people down there to help them. They hit the border of California, and California wouldn't let them in because their trucks didn't pass emissions. Let that sink in.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. I'll see if I can find that. Yeah, they were saying they were like, yeah, we can't allow you in. Your trucks aren't California compliant.
Well, burn, baby, burn.
Yeah, exactly. Fire trucks. California. Let's see. 2020.
That's crazy shit.
So here's posts on California rejecting Oregon fire trucks over emissions are false. Okay, so that's false.
Okay.
I was going to say, like, at a certain point, that's whoever's in charge over there should be shot. California Firefighting Agency did not reject fire trucks sent from Oregon. Okay, because I heard that, and I was going to ask you if you had heard anything about it, but I was just like, oh, my God, you cannot be that far gone. Like, there's no way. What else you got, Sugar Bush? Sometimes I just say things without thinking. I apologize.
Sugar Bush?
Oh,
I was always told I was sweet as pie.
So me and my buddy Chris, we always send texts like that. Like he's like, "What's up, butter nipples?" Just like nothing, Sugar Bush. How are you? It's just something we've always done. I don't know. It makes us laugh. We're very immature. You got anything else other than that?
That's all I got.
All right. Well, then we'll end the audio part. If you want to hear any more nonsense, you can catch us on the audio version or the YouTube. See, I'm dumb. You can catch us on the YouTube version. We'll probably still record for a little bit.
But if not, you can go on X and check us out. It's Odd Times Podcast, all in those words. The Gram, TikTok. Send me a link.
Oh, I think we stopped. Well, we're not going to have an audio podcast because it already stopped recording. My internet died out. So, oh wait, no, it's still going. Okay.
Yeah, I still see you on. I didn't spit out on me.
See, this is why we need a producer. So if you're willing to work for nothing and get cursed at and mocked ridiculously, send us an email. Where can they send that email?
At oddtimespodcast@yahoo.com. Send it to us.
Or you can reach Kaz on the TikTok.
Yes, the TikTok and the Gram and the X. I try to monitor all of those.
Yeah. Yep. While naked smoking a cigar. So keep that vision in your head. And he's sexy, folks. Except for the giant wart right in the middle of his forehead.
I got that taken care of.
Yes, you did.
I'll
Yes.
wear a hat.
I'll wear one of those. Yeah, okay. Anyway. And you can find me at Odd Mac Guy on Twitter X or Odd Guy Mac on Twitch. I haven't been on there in a while since I've been having internet issues, but I'm planning to get back on there and do some more video game streams. And then until next week, give him some folksy wisdom there, Kaz.
Oh, it's a piece of chicken grease.
I wasn't even going
what
to
you
try
need.
it today because everything I came up with sounded way more vulgar. We'll see you guys next
y'all
week.
later.
Okay. Now we're just on YouTube. Now, what were you going to say? You had one more thing? You
I
forgot.
was going to say something about the Dave Chappelle on the Saturday Night Live.
Dude,
that was really good.
He killed me with some of that when he said the reason I didn't get invited to Diddy parties was because I'm ugly.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. That was good, man. That was great. I sent you some funny bits this week too on the X, which were
yes.
very inappropriate. It seems like comedy is coming back finally. What the hell did you send me? Oh my God. What in the hell did you send me here?
Which one?
Oh, I'm watching it. It's on the stream. Yeah, no. That's called a broken ankle. Let's see what we're going to
yeah,
break.
dude, some
Oh,
of the-
that's a broken neck.
Some of that stuff was badass. That one with the parachute, that's pretty badass. Right
Yeah, dude, the bicycle's pretty. Wait, hold up. Wait, hold on. How? Oh yeah, that guy. I hate him. I don't like him. He's probably got donkey teeth. Oh, swimming. That's. You ever watch the movie with Rodney Dangerfield where they got the triple Lundy?
Oh yeah, that's
Back to School.
Summer school or back to school.
Back
yes,
to
some
School. Dude, so one of my favorite guys, and I don't know why I like him. He sells T-shirts that says "faster than the forever yeet." It's called Mandatory Fun Day, and he talks in this like monotone voice, but he cracks me up. He's a active military guy. If you look him up on X, he's just, I don't know. He's got my sense of humor. He does stuff where he's like. He pretends to be China and Russia, and he's like, U.S. is like, so what are you doing over there? And China's like, nothing. And the U.S., he's like, goes back to U.S. He goes, looks like you're doing something. We don't like it. Are you going to mess with our boats? And it's just this dialogue. It's pretty funny. So what are you going to do this week? What are you watching? Any anime? You going to finish Solo Leveling?
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
I just started the second season, so there's only 3 episodes, so I will probably slow play it.
Yeah, that's what sucks. That's why I like watching the anime that have like 52 seasons because I know I'm never going to get done. But the problem is I don't ever finish it. I get bored. And so it's like a double-edged sword. I need one that's about 2.5 seasons and then quit. But it takes so damn long to get them over here and get them put up on the U.S. websites. At least to where we can watch them because I don't speak Japanese. Oh, I am for sure sending you this. Make sure it's not on the YouTube. I don't know what office she's running in, but yep, I'm gonna say yep. Anyway, well,
Hold on, let me see. Oh,
okay.
wow.
Yeah, I don't know what.
That's not. Yeah, that's if that.
Have you?
That's
He's stuttering, folks.
I know. I'm trying to. It's not that I'm stuttering. It's. We can get kicked off Amazon off of YouTube for the thoughts that
Yes.
are not manifesting the right way for the perfect senator. That's.
It's one of those things where if his wife would even see his thoughts right now, he would be in divorce court. So have you ever seen how they make the...
I love AI.
I do too. I do too. It's fantastic.
That's AI. That's exactly what that is. That's all I can say.
Oh, I know, but it's perfect AI. Have you ever seen how they make that Turkish coffee and they put the pot in the sand to warm it up? I want to know how. I'm sending it to you. Yeah, it's a thing. I've seen it a bunch. Yeah, that's not what I want to do. I don't want to share that. Sorry, folks. This is a normal conversation between Like when we're at work and I'm sending him stuff, we're literally talking about. I'm like, "Have you seen this? Nope. Have you seen that? Nope." I'll put it up. I'll put it up on the website. It's Massimo. So he's putting this stuff, and the sand, I guess, is heated, and so it makes the coffee hot. I want to try that. But I drink a lot of coffee, and when they hand me that little tiny cup, I just want to get angry and go, that's like, that's not even a real cup. And then you see the Italians like, oh, this is a proper cup. It's like, oh, piss off. I need more than that. I'm an addict. So I wonder how that works. I don't know if there's like a fire under the sand. That I don't know. But it's fascinating.
That looks good, actually.
It does. It looks amazing.
And I'm sure it has to do with kind of like the espresso type.
Oh, did you hear? Oh, I forgot to mention this. So a friend of mine works at a McDonald's. I'll keep it remained. I call him Chew. And he was telling...
Is it... Wait a minute. Hold on. Is it... What's his name?
Rocco?
Birthday?
Rocco's birthday.
Is it Rocco's
Yep.
birthday?
Happy birthday,
Is it his
Rocco.
birthday?
Yes.
Rocco, happy birthday.
I completely forgot about that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Chew was telling me...
Does Chew work with Rocco?
Yes. Yeah, he's his boss.
Chew, you make sure you get him a cake.
Yeah, a big cake.
Yeah, big cake.
And be ready next week. Anyway, so he was telling me that McDonald's doesn't serve espresso anymore because they had to pull those because one of them blew up and like hurt somebody.
I saw that on the news. It was 7 of them.
No way.
They're back now because I actually got a hot caramel macchiato yesterday from McDonald's.
Let's see.
So some of the places have had their machines fixed.
Okay, I'm
So
pulling.
they had to come back.
Okay, this is in November, Tempura stopped selling espresso drinks at some U.S. locations due to safety issues with their machines. The issue was caused by faulty component in the machines that would allow steam to escape and break the part. Okay, so, but I think it was Chew was telling me that it actually like cities, Atlanta, Dallas, Pittsburgh, New York, and Tampa, that it like blew up or something and hurt somebody.
Yeah, seven different machines blew up. For what I read.
I think they should designate those as terrorists and have Trump deal with them. Send in the Marines. By the way, if you ever see a Marine out in the wild, I promise you won't be disappointed. Don't be aggressive. Don't be mean. You know, they're not technically people. They're robots. But if you want to get them to smile, ask them what their favorite flavor of Crown is. I promise you'll get a laugh. And they'll have an answer. They will have an answer. Yeah, Marines are Crown eaters. That's what they get in their MREs. Yeah, they get crayons and they share that. They love to eat crayons.
That's crazy. I got a buddy that's we've talked about him on the show. He's an ex-Marine and he doesn't eat crayons.
I bet you he's heard about it. Maybe not. He might be.
I'm not gonna ask him. He's 6'5", 250. I'm not asking.
So okay, here we go. You think I'm full of it? Look on YouTube. I said Marines eating, and the first one is crayons. The crown-eating Marine is a humorous trope associated with United States Marine Corps. It emerged online in the 2010s, playing off a stereotype that Marines are unintelligent. And this is why I love the Marines. They got this, and people were mocking the Marines, and the Marines adopted it.
Run with it.
Yes, that's why it's my favorite group of fighters ever. What does a Marine do? Make sure all the pieces are out of their mouth and give them a sip of water.
Yeah, they run with it.
Oh, man. God bless the Marines. Those guys are...
Yes.
I'm glad those savages are on our side.
Yes,
That's all I could say. It's like, you violent sociopaths.
Oh, another one of the executive orders he did, only American flags flown at government buildings. That's a good one right there, buddy.
So, and I was trying to explain this to somebody, and they were like, I don't see why that's a big deal. I said, it's the government of the United States of America. I don't care what your sexual affiliation is. Like I said before, do what you want to do. That is a government building. It shouldn't have
nothing.
Like I said, it would be weird if we put the Rebel Alliance flag up there. That's not where that belongs. or the Empire's flag, or Goku on a flag. That's not where that belongs. That is a government building of the United States of America. I agree with that 100%.
Yep.
Well, I think that's going to do it, unless the
That'll do it.
chat has any dumb stuff they want us to express a thought on. We'll give you a second. If not, then we're gonna move on down the road and get Kaz's OnlyFans stream started up.
I know it. I know.
It's where he eats chocolate while smoking a cigar.
I got the clothespins ready.
Did you get the car battery charged up?
No, I've moved on from that. I use a generator.
No.
That way I don't have to run out of power.
We should start that. Every time a female cop gets fired, we should look up on OnlyFans to see if she has an OnlyFans page.
Oh, we should.
We should do like one of those.
Do it on your account.
I'll just get my son's account. I'm sure he's got one. No,
Well,
do like.
too, you pay for it.
Don't remind me. Don't remind me. But have like a March Madness bracket.
Oh. I'm still putting the old girl at the top of the list. Was it Tennessee, the one that was doing all her cop buddies?
Was that? Oh yeah, and they found out and they fired her. Yeah, she was like.
Yeah, she's still at the top of the list. She's still a number one.
Yep. Did you see the one girl that wanted to sleep with 1,000 men in 24 hours?
I saw something about that, but I kept on scrolling.
I was
didn't
just
wanna get
like,
put on the list.
I'm just like, that's just yuck. It's
Yes.
like that's what you want to go down in history for. I'd rather go down as anonymous and just be a headstone than be listed like, yep, you did this thing. Oh my gosh. Well, with that good news, I think that's going to end it for us. So as Kaz always says, feet and chicken teeth, and we'll see you guys next week.
That sounds so bad. Feet. Oh,
Chicken
God.
grease. And
We'll catch y'all later.
yep, we'll